Sword of omens, give me sight beyond sight.
It is Wednesday, my dudes. It is Wednesday, my dudes.
And action.
Where'd he go?
Daddy's last word.
Holy shit.
And cut. Perfect.
I got it all here, boss.
Oh my god, he just ran in.
What? I'm so high right now. I have no idea what's going on.
What else can we do? Let's get ready to rumble. Alrighty, let's get into it. So you take my fucking horn button away. Who we got? Who we got? Who we got? Who we got? Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to this week's B2P. Let's go! I feel like Kermit the Frog every week when I do this. Yay! Before we get rolled, well, shit. Our guest, pilot of the week, Medlin Drone in the house. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
And before we get into that, really quick, 2 birthdays. We got Gank Multi-Rollers. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, gang.
Yeah, I love gangs.
And motherfucking
Yeah, I just built this frame.
motherfucking B-Rad FPV. Happy birthday, man.
B-Rad. Happy birthday, Mage.
Heck yeah.
Look at this. We got Gank. Jesus Christ. Look at this. We're going back. We're going to just go back to the frog. What's up, chat? What's
Hit the
going
40th intro.
40. Yeah, what do we got? We got B2P News.
I'm kidding. Get to the fucking show.
We're in the show.
What up?
Let's go. What's up? We got Josh Medlin in the house. Thank you, Josh, for joining us. How you doing?
What up, dude? Thanks so much for coming by.
I'm
dude.
breaking the fucking horn this week.
Hell yeah. What's everybody been up to this week? Everybody have a good week?
Yeah, I can't complain.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It's one of those weeks.
I can tell.
Yeah.
Somebody take away this man's fucking buttons.
Good. I need. Oh wait.
Stay on target. I can see my friends who are definitely in the chat.
All right,
boy
shit. Yeah. So what's going?
Battle Fit Remastered.
What is up, chat? Oh, I gotta start the bot too. Shit.
Don't forget the fucking bot, man.
I know, man. We gotta have them links.
What's up, everybody in chat? How's y'all's week? Did y'all have a good one? Get some good shit in? Good stuff. I
What up, Mike
completed
Bergman?
my recurring
Already
107 yesterday in a whopping 45 minutes. It was kind of a joke, I have to say.
Artie's found the joys of the FAA's fucking recurrent.
Hey. Yeah, it was really retarded actually. It was really silly. I don't think the other word is couth anymore. No offense to anybody.
It had a clown. It had a clown nose on. It had a clown.
It was like
clown nose on.
I didn't think it really gave me anything super relevant outside of the stuff we already know. I guess if you don't know anything about remote ID or night flying or flying over people, because that's really all it was.
That's the meat and potatoes of this one, yeah.
And 400 feet AGL or over a structure. You know. But that was it, man. It was really simple. So anybody that's coming up on that 2-year mark, don't sweat it. It's really
well. I think you and I had to know there was some limited RID questions on the test that I took, and definitely the category stuff was there.
Yeah, well,
on the original test. I'm talking about the original, my first test.
I had to go back because they had just updated the test March 2021, like literally right after I took it to include. I think it was like some amended things with night flying, and because before it was not okay, you had to get a waiver, and by the time I'd taken the test, it was already changed, but they hadn't changed the test yet. But it was just about night flight and maybe flying over people too. I can't remember.
Yeah, there was I had the cat stuff, the categories for flying over people online, and flying over vehicles and flying
categories for flying over people.
Yeah, there's 4 of them.
Yeah, I mean it's all pretty like sparsely flying. Like it's all really silly stuff, man. It's simple. It's not difficult. So anybody, like I said, coming up on that, don't sweat it. It's real easy.
I'm still. I mean, I don't want to take too much time for getting into Josh tonight, but I'm really. What do you guys think? I don't really see them rolling out this RID thing in a timely fashion again, man. I just don't see it. You know, like.
Well, I mean, I think it's been sort of like how everything's been. It's like rah, 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 like rabble rousing, big wait time. But I mean, that's bureaucracy though, right? Like fucking everything moves like, oh, get ready, bitch, get ready to wait.
And then it's like,
yeah, we can't enforce this. We don't have the resources yet. So give us some time. But I'm all for it. Push it off as long as we fucking can.
Well, I did see video of Amazon delivery drone that I hadn't seen, but it was fairly recent. Have anybody catch that floating around?
I think I saw it. Dropped off a package and
took off.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it was pretty boring as fuck.
There were a couple of things about
there.
dropping packages. Like
I wouldn't want that dropped though. What if it was
you can't drop a package? You have to set it down, release, and then fly off. You can't just drop it from the sky.
Tell that to the delivery people though, bro. They're just like yeet and fucking bounce back to their truck.
Like, all right, so like you know how porch pirates are a thing. Soon there's going to be people just shooting nets at these things and taking them down and then stripping them and then selling the parts.
I mean, it's pretty obvious though. Like it's hard to hide. Like, you might get away with it a couple times, but eventually.
Oh, I'm not going to get away with it because
I mean, bro, some
people will.
Some tells me they're going to have like at least the equivalent of an air tag up in that bitch. Let me just say, you know what I'm saying? Like, fucking, they'll. I mean,
in the house.
I totally believe we will see somebody take down one of them drones. I'm sure we'll see some things, but like fucking Vitrifly, what's up, good sir?
What's up, Vitrifly?
RZ, what up? See you up in there, fucking.
But anyway, yeah, there was some shit about that in there. There was also, if you're delivering something like packages, you can't be coming from a moving vehicle. You can't be flying from a moving vehicle. You got to be stationary somewhere. So that was that. But into the real good stuff. Josh, dude, how are you tonight, dude?
Doing pretty well, man. Happy to be here.
Absolutely. Happy to freaking
Happy to have you.
We've all kind of been nerding out a bit over your shit for a couple years now. Fucking, why don't you introduce yourself? I know most of these people probably know who you are, but in case there are a couple that don't, man, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Well, I'm Josh Medlin of Medlin Drone, and have been flying for about 7 years, and about 2 years ago, I tried an idea I had, which is to fly with a single axis gimbal for the piloting camera, controlled via head tracking, and turned out to be way better than I expected. And sort of the last 2 years have been me just sort of trying to share it with the community, trying to build off of it and sort of trailblaze in that space. And yeah, it's really augments what an FPV drone can do. I fly it dynamically, where I'm constantly sort of adjusting camera angle as I want to, but you can also just use it to adjust camera angle on the fly, like on a dial or slider. But
That's
when you
cool.
control it dynamically, you can do things like come up on something and then look down and brake. And you can do things like all sorts of new freestyle tricks where you're like looking down and then you look up and dive.
Yeah,
And
watching some of that
yeah,
was cool in person.
Right.
oh hell yeah. And yeah, there's different sort of size classes of the drone gimbals that I've been working on. We got full size, we have like 5-inch, and here's it on a 3-inch whoop. And we also have whoop gimbals, little tiny
That's so cool.
It's crazy to see
tiny
how it's
servo
evolved
gimbals.
since I first saw this.
Yeah, and this is the best way to try it. It's just because it's cheap, and also I have like open source designs for all of this, so like you can try it super cheaply.
Right.
And yeah, this little whoop gimbal is a great way to try it. You also get prop guards in view when you're like in low or down tilt, and it helps fly it. But yeah, and have everything from tiny whoops to center lifters. Have a piloting gimbal for the Alta X.
Shit.
Yeah,
Nice.
dude. I mean, it honestly is crazy to me that people flew fixed angle on the Alta X, 'cause it's kind of like not being able
Yeah.
to look down when you need to is like, whoa. But anyway,
Right.
then I'm about to release the sub 250 gimbals. This has been sort of a work in progress for a while.
That's sick.
And yeah, pumped to release this. But it's just I've been sort of spinning wheels on how to release it properly for a while. But yeah, go as big as a center lifter. If change camera angle on the fly, get
Yeah,
those
it's
cool
so
shots.
cool.
Yeah. Has a lot of just like knock the camera, but it has a lot of applications as well. Like the main one is cinematic flying, but it has implications for inspection drones, search
Yeah,
and
for
rescue.
sure.
In fact, the first person who bought one of these from me was a French fireman who
Sick.
was using them to go and scout through houses that
Right.
were unstable.
What
Cool way to do
And,
it.
That's
actually I want to circle back to those in a second. That is fucking awesome. That is, I want to get under the hood into that one, but I don't want to sidetrack us now, so don't let me forget. Fucking so what, how did you get into RC and the drones? How did you find FPV in the first place? Like what was your background and how did you find FPV?
Gotcha. So when I was growing up, my dad sort of introduced me to RC. We flew RC airplanes, a couple RC helicopters. Nothing like not too frequently, but we did do it enough to where I was like just interested
Got
in
the
the
bug?
space. And then my senior year of college, I saw the video that many of us saw. And it sucks that I am struggling. I think it's Metal Danny or something like that. What's that guy's name?
Metal Danny, yeah.
Yeah, the video of racing through the forest.
Oh,
And
right
I
on.
saw that
Right on.
video and I fucking knew I had to try to just try it out myself. And yeah, that was like 7 years ago. And got me an Eocene Racer 250, like right when it came out, because I
Right.
was super I was like nervous to things didn't work. Things weren't as compatible as they are now. So a ready to fly was really helpful for me at that time. But yeah, I got that and started building soon after that. And yeah, sort of the rest is history. I flew fixed angle for 5.5 years before ever ever trying, a single axis tilt gimbal.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
So is that what you fly on everything now?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, anything that I can put it on, which I've kind of found the solution for everything. Because here's the thing,
So
Yeah, you have a wide array of them, huh?
Oh yeah.
You have
Oh, yeah,
you have a
definitely.
wide.
Yeah. But you can fly these fixed angle. You can just set the angle
Yeah.
and fly it like that. So there's really not much disadvantage to so it's just kind of, it sucks because sometimes I want to like explain to people who are over at my house or something like what my project's about. And it'd be best if I had an example of a fixed angle quad, but anytime I have a fixed angle quad, like within
You convert
a week,
it.
I've converted it over.
Right on.
That's awesome.
And I mean, you're getting into the Cinewhoops and things of that nature. Like, were you attracted to the cinema side of it as well? And like, what's your vibes with
Or
that?
what was the motivation?
Yeah,
for
what was the
gimbal?
motivation? Yeah.
So yeah, great question, because that kind of leads to how this sort of all happened. So 4 years ago, I like many of us, I saw sort of this side of cinematic FPV growing and people getting actual gigs flying FPV drones
Mm-hmm.
at the time. And basically for the last 7 years, I've just been wildly obsessed with FPV drones. And when I saw that, I think even from the beginning, my obsession with it was sort of based around the footage you could create with them.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw people actually getting work, I was like, oh fuck, I gotta try.
That's
and
like a
do this. And
bonus.
so yeah, dude, yeah, exactly. And so I created a videography business, like many of us, so that I could fly FPV drones in cooler places. And I did that for like I've been doing that for 4 years, but about 2 years in, I didn't do it properly. In that I just tried to do I tried to learn videography to do it, and so I was kind of a bad videographer, especially in the beginning. And anyway, but so I was just like having to do everything myself. And when I would go in and film for like these mom and pop businesses, I would anytime I could bust out the FPV drone, because that's kind of the reason I was there. But
Uh-huh.
I would realize that there was only so many shots per a type of ad that a normal business would want, which is something that doesn't have like crazy spinny flippy floppies.
Mm-hmm.
I was barely flying my FPV drone, and I was like flying my Mavic more than I was flying the FPV drone, and it just frustrated the hell out of me. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm here because I want to be flying FPV drones, but that's very little of what I'm actually doing. And so I was kind of having a bit of a crisis in that regard, and I just started thinking about how if you could control the tilt, and at the time I was thinking about tilt and roll, which I have an example of a dual axis
Yeah, I was gonna
gimbal.
ask about that earlier, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, hell yeah, I'll snag that thing in a second. But anyway, but I was like, that would probably help out the ability to just do like basic parallax and stuff. This things that I was using my Mavic for.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, I had the idea, but I sat on it for like 9 months. I like finished up a house project that I was working on, and yeah, I almost didn't try because I like many people who see the project, I had my doubts on whether you'd be able to fly like this. I was, I the same way fixed angle is sort of ingrained into FPV pretty deeply. It was ingrained into me, and
Uh-huh.
anyway, so I almost didn't even try the idea, but then finally gave it a try, with just some existing stuff that was online. Like there was it was Andy Shin's Geyser gimbal.
Yep.
If y'all
Yeah.
if y'all
Yeah.
are familiar.
Yeah.
That was what I used, and I just put it on my Source One, and gave it a try, and I was just like, the first flight, I was shocked at how much less difficult it was to fly than I expected it to be.
Uh-huh.
And by like the fourth flight, I was realizing that it was like more significant of an augmentation than I originally thought. Because I originally thought it was just for like camera correction, like I just use it to keep the subjects in frame. But
Yeah.
then like 5 packs in, I'm realizing that my yard that I've been flying FPV in for 5 years, or no, 3 years, I had and I had all these lines in my yard that I flew a lot, and I thought I explored it thoroughly, but then I was like finding all these new gaps, finding all these new lines through my yard because I could now like look down and go through gaps, and yeah, it's just sort of gone from there.
That's awesome. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Hell yeah! And once you like how there's two main ways I try and describe it. I'm trying to get better at explaining this well and getting the idea across. But like, there's when I explain what FPV is to people who are not familiar, one of the things that I think a lot of us tell people are fly like you imagined it as a kid. You know, like when I was a kid, you know, you imagine like flying through trees and stuff. But what I would say in regard to this project is when I imagined flying as a kid, I was able to look
around.
Yeah. Exactly.
Superman and that shit.
But yeah, and in sort of more technically speaking, fixed angle FPV drones have what I refer to as 4 degrees of freedom. And I don't know if y'all are familiar with like what degrees of freedom is related to. I guess it'd be in math or physics or whatever. But basically, the first 3 degrees of freedom are your point in space. So your X, Y, and Z. That's your like. But then there's a total of 6 degrees of freedom, and the next 3 are your orientation. So your point in space are the first 3, and then your orientation, which is pitch, yaw, and roll.
Right.
So the orientation of the object. And so for an FPV drone, a fixed angle, you can move it anywhere in space, and from there you can yaw freely. Like you can be at a hover and freely yaw the drone. And so that's 4 degrees of freedom. And now with the tilt, it gives you 5. And like with that 5, you can be anywhere and look anywhere. And like that's sort of the.
It must feel like lucid dreaming.
Yeah, and that's like like that was sort of the final thing that happened with flying this, is that once I got used to it and once I was able to be in flow state with it and like just use it without thinking about it, it becomes like a next level immersive like experience to fly.
I bet.
Hell yeah. And physical flight, how much more difficult is physical flight when you're, let's say, you know, is it intuitive? Did your body kind of like your hands kind of follow? You know, because with like a fixed angle, you kind of can, you know, I don't know, my muscle memory tells me, okay, bam, if I'm trying to go fast and forward, I need to do this. But if I wanted, you know, to go down and dive, I do this.
Then you start adding that head.
And then you start adding that tilt. Did you find that was, I guess like you said earlier, it wasn't as difficult as you thought it was going to be. But do you find that super disorienting, or is that something that you've noticed that people have a hard time?
How long did it take you to feel comfortable mixing your pitch and your head?
Yeah, like coordinating them. I would say
flat zone.
Typically about it depends for every pilot, but for me, it was maybe 6 or 7 packs in. It wasn't long.
So it wasn't
that bad.
Yeah, like but how I like the reason it's not that difficult is because it's just it mimics as if you were flying a full scale aircraft, like a helicopter. Like, you know, there's the pilot of a helicopter, they don't have their head like fixed to the aircraft. They're able to look down. But if you imagine like it becomes very intuitive, and even initially it's decently intuitive, because it's like, imagine you're in a helicopter and you want to go forward. Well, the chassis is going to lean forward, so you're naturally going to look up to keep your sight forward. And then if you're going to brake a helicopter, this chassis is going to go it's going to come back to brake, and you're naturally, if you were piloting that aircraft, you're naturally going to be looking down. So it's like
your equilibrium is that natural gyro,
right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of a natural thing, and that's why I refer to it more as dynamic angle, because I am very open to the idea that there are better ways to or maybe not better, but other methods that might be just as good to control the gimbal. Like, for example, a guitar pedal.
Like a WALDOH,
if someone doesn't want to move their, exactly, and like there's all sorts of stuff. Like you can get like there's really no
that's pretty dope. The wah pedal sounds pretty intriguing. I got a couple of those
Wah,
I can tear
wah.
apart.
Yeah, hell yeah. And yo, you don't even have to tear it apart because you can take the head tracker and you can just mount it onto the pedal itself.
I didn't even
dude,
think about
like,
that.
Yeah,
Could you,
dude,
like,
I'm like thinking about how I could just attach a receiver and.
Could you like rig it up to like a momentary, so like when you press it, it activates, so you can be like, you know, and then set your angle, let it go, and then continue at that angle?
Oh, I have not tried that. I have a switch set up where it switches between head tracking and a dial. But that's an interesting idea. Like have it track the
Kind
current
of a
position
start stop.
and then
It would be a pickup.
That's
It's like
kinda cool.
a
I
pickup
haven't
and
tried that
latch.
yet.
Does the head tracker do all 3 axes?
Yeah.
When I first started seeing them way back in the day, I always wanted to do a 3 axis so I could look over my shoulder real quick when I was racing. You know what I mean? But it isn't completely practical if you have a bunch of quad in your way, but it would be interesting to see what you could get out of it. You know, or you at least look over to the right and left, you know, just quickly check your angles. You know what I mean? Like a fighter pilot would just be able to check your, you know, fucking that would be like, I always thought that would just be
It's like
insane.
an actual bird would, because like a bird can look all around.
Well, yeah, if you're like fucking Superman and you're just flying out there with your arms in front, you can just kind of peek around what's going on over here.
Well, because a lot of dual op guys running lifters with the
that's what I was gonna say.
with the
Have
gimbal
you,
on top. You could the dual ops will obviously have the gimbal, you know, catching a car off to the side while the pilot is flying forward and watching where he's going, obviously. But it'd still be sick if you could fucking, you know, check your angles, you know what I mean, look left or right a bit. I mean, it's pretty wide, but you know what I'm saying. It'd be like you could almost get a slightly tighter field of view if you wanted to, if you could just get a little bit of left, you know, a little bit of ability to look around. But my biggest question is how durable are the linkages if you do happen to crash?
I saw this firsthand.
Very durable. Yes. So I have a standard and a heavy duty version of the gimbal that I offer now, and the heavy duty version, basically the timing belt gimbal, which is sort of the latest thing. I guess it's been out for like a little over a year, but the beauty of it is that it will skip teeth in a hard crash.
Here, I'm gonna bring you up full screen here for a minute so you can show off some of the mechanics.
Sorry, a little bit closer.
Oh, it's all good.
Okay, so it'll jump teeth when it gets in a hard wreck, so it doesn't.
There you go.
Break.
Yeah, damage the servo. Yeah, exactly. And you can just it takes 2 seconds to just skip the teeth back, and yeah, basically like with this setup, it is. I hesitate to use the word indestructible, but
it's durable.
I mean,
it's durable.
It.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It survived crashes that I would probably be thinking my quad's done, and
yeah,
you
exactly.
came back. I'm try it again.
Yeah, hell yeah. Like when I crash now, especially when I'm flying freestyle and I crash with this, I'm usually worried about the quad, not the gimbal, because that is one factor, is that this does add about 100 grams to the setup. And so, you know, your arm is a little bit more likely to break than it would be without it. Unless you like don't fly with an action camera or something like that. You make your quad lighter.
Right.
But yeah, it's super, super durable. Like, you know, these are designed for FPV.
Well, I was just checking your straps and all that stuff. So, have you noticed much of a CG shift with the whole thing? Like how you had to push your pack back and shit?
Yeah, like it does affect CG, and it wouldn't have to if I didn't like prioritize the gimbals to get props out of you.
Yeah, pushing forward.
Right.
Yeah, because when you're talking about negative camera angle, your GoPro has to be super far forward, or else you're going to get props in view. And yeah, so it does affect CG. If the quad is well powered, like then it's not such a big deal, but it is definitely noticeable. Like
when you say well powered, give me an example of what well powered versus not well powered is.
Just like a quad that like has like a proper power to weight from the get-go, like, you know,
right.
Like if you I'm trying to think of a good example, but like, you know, if you're just using weak motors and then you strap an extra 100 grams to it, then, you know, you're going to see some.
What kind of servo are you running into that thing? What's that servo? Can you show the servo a little closer? And tell us a little bit
Yeah,
about
yeah,
the
sure.
actual servo you're running.
So this is a robotics servo, and that was in my testing. I tested a whole bunch of different servos, and basically what I found
Is
is
it like a stepper or is it a true servo?
no, it's a true servo.
Yeah.
But most RC servos are designed to be responsive. You know, like if you're using it for like a fixed wing or something, you want it to be fast.
Right.
But what responsive means if you're trying to move a camera is that it's twitchy.
Mhm.
And so after a whole bunch of testing, oh my God, I tested so many dang servos. I finally tried a robotic servo, which was made for a robotic arm.
Uh-huh.
And those are, designed from the get-go to just move naturally as opposed to be like responsive and accurate.
Uh-huh.
And that ended up moving smoothly enough to be able to be used for this application. These are the high one. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna ask, how are they geared out? Are they geared out pretty low for like torquey, and like are the gears aluminum or nylon? If you know.
The gears,
Inside the servo.
gears on the actual quad itself are a combination of PETG and ASA.
Mm-hmm.
And then the actual servo itself is, I think the gears and splines are brass, I believe. And I think that weight of the brass kind of helps it be more smooth. But just to answer your question, this is the High Wonder LDX 227, and the push rod designs, which are for the full size open source offerings, use the LDX 218. And it just has like a slightly smaller range of motion, because with a push rod design, you don't need that like full that larger range of motion. That would cause more problems than it solved. But yeah.
Those servos are fat. They're pretty deep, right? Like how wide are they when they're laying in that orientation? Like 25 millimeter or so?
40.
Oh shit.
40 millimeters by 40 millimeters by 20. So they're big old.
Yeah, those
big
are
old things.
Fucking yeah. That's fucking rad.
Just before we get too far off, Josh, we had Props off ask a couple of questions earlier. He wanted to know where you're from. And then also, what's your Tinder? His oh no, that's your boy Sly. His girlfriend is
sounds like somebody's was sliding in your DMs.
that's my friend. He's being funny. That's awesome. But anyway, I am props off. Also props off. It was great meeting you at IO. I think we may have met before then, actually, but it was good to talk to you then. And I am from Waxhaw, which is just south of Charlotte. Grew up in kind of a country area of it, and moved to Charlotte when I was like 13, I think. Yeah, 13, and have been living in Charlotte since. So I'm basically Carolina boy. That's it.
Absolutely. Shout out to Muggsy Bogues.
Let's say you
Charlotte Hornets from back in the 90s.
Oh, fuck yeah.
That was my first starter jacket, homie. I got mad.
Oh, yeah, dude, the Hornets. Yo, that was low-key. That Hornets jacket, dude.
It's still dope.
Yeah, that was
somebody yanked mine, dude. I got into 4th or 5th grade, and some dude yanked it on me.
What did you
Johnny Watley, I know where you are, bitch. So
what did you major in college? What were you
in college? It's kind of funny because I guess I'm kind of a bit. Anyway, I failed out of engineering about 2 years in, and then I fell back onto math, and I minored in computer science, and that's where I went career wise. I've been a software developer for the last 7 years or something like that.
Oh shit!
That's awesome.
Right
Not
on.
a bad way to fall.
Yeah,
it's a fall.
True, yeah.
It's all seems like a fall forward to me.
Yeah, right.
From a like amount of work perspective, that was the thing. Is engineering is both hard and a lot of work. And at the time, especially at the time, I was not disciplined, and like
Fair enough.
The lot of work part was a problem.
Heard that. Oh, Risco, what
Shit,
up, homeboy?
I might have to pick your math skills at some point.
What, Risco?
Talk some.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Risco asks,
what set you rep?
What set do I rep? I don't know.
What props do you rep?
Yeah, what props do you rocking?
Whatever kind I have gotten recently for free. Usually.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Feel that, bro.
My
Fuck
man.
yeah.
I love a deal.
The ones I have the most of.
I think that's what I've been surviving off of for the last like 4 months is free props from homies.
The four look, the pairs of four that look the best. I've been there too. Fucking
Juicy changed from GemFan to HQ, so he hit me up. He's like, "Yo, I got a care package for you." I was like, "What is it?" He's like, "You can have my package from GemFan because I don't need it anymore." I was like,
Oh,
sure.
I will
Yeah,
take
dude,
it.
fucking like he gave me fucking.
Shout out to Juicy if you want to send any free
Dude.
shit to anybody else.
Give me all
My boy
these.
over here likes free shit too. That's
Give
all
me
I'm
all-
saying.
It's making me disappear.
Where'd he
I
go?
can't- He gave me
So
all
I
those.
I feel
props,
like
so-
you're hiding behind nothing.
And then yeah, right. I'm trying.
Yeah, what do you have? The cloak of what's that Harry
Fucking-
Potter shit? The
and then a
cloak
bunch
of
more.
you
So
know,
I need a
gets under
fucking
it.
sponsor. I need to be sent that many props so I don't have to fucking worry about it anymore.
hell yeah.
Do more. Fly better.
But I guess so.
That's what you need. So, Josh, what is your main like freestyle quad? Like when you go out and just bash.
Here, we'll take him off the hot seat
what
for a
setup are
sec.
you doing?
So it's kind of and this is not a. I should have a better answer, but it's kind of similar to my prop question or prop
Yeah,
answer,
no.
and that it's kind of whatever I have at the time. Which recently I try and keep one freestyle quad, at least one that's like totally uncrashed and or not relatively uncrashed and clean.
Yeah.
So because I do some like pro piloting where I can, you know,
Uh-huh.
and like so I try and keep my setups that I use for that clean. And so whatever I'm using for freestyle is kind of like whatever
Excuse
spare
me.
parts I have or whatever like spare quad. Currently, my basher is a Nazgul V3.
Nice.
And one of the things that's nice about it is that it's a stretch X.
Mhm.
And so because the gimbal does sort of
Shift everything
think-
forward.
yeah, and increase. I think you'd say it increases your pitch moment from like a physics perspective. So having a stretch X design where the props are further apart lengthwise than wide
Mhm.
gives you more pitch authority.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And in this
Interesting.
case, this quad is not great for filming because the props are in view with
Right.
this quad when you're looking down. And
Right.
so it's just
Yeah,
because of that, I can't even use it for filming if I wanted to.
So that's
it's
your
just a
basher.
fucking slender. Yeah, it's just-
Nice.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, best you could do is
Always.
get like clear props.
yeah, exactly.
Get those
Exactly.
number 5 grays.
hmm
Fuck it, just send it like it is.
yeah.
Just-
Or just keep making it
what
basher.
actually fuck it. I want to see the lifter gimbal again. You can mind showing that
Yeah,
to
sure.
us again? Oh,
Of course.
bring you back up.
So this is a very much a prototype rudimentary. I'm going to be refining this soon to be much better, like more range of motion, better design in general. Yeah, it's going to be way better. I have a lot of things that I'm going to be doing to it, but here, basically it's just it's just
You got two of them bastards on there. How's the servo sync between them? They stay pretty good?
yeah, it's pretty good. Like yeah, I don't do anything too fancy. I literally just
Uh-huh.
use OpenTX to have the channels be reversed because since they're facing opposite
Right,
directions,
right,
so
right.
they have to rotate opposite. Yeah,
Right.
And so I just use OpenTX to do that, and yes, it's super. It's like a freaking caveman design. It's super simple. I just popped off my thing. It's a dummy Komodo, but yeah, it's like super basic. There's nothing too fancy, but it does work. It gives
Well,
me
that's
about
what matters, man.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
cool. And you said you're running oh shit, the Panasonic, right? Is that what you're running on there?
Yeah. Currently, the G85 is my what I when if someone hires me and they don't have a specific camera and they
Mhm.
just like, what do you have? This is the only mirrorless that I currently have. I'm thinking about picking up a Black Magic. I don't know
Don't-
if any of y'all have
You're gonna get me
suggestions for
excited.
that.
Yeah, he rocks
I'm
that
a Black Magic junkie, bro. I love that fucking thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Komodos and all that, and I work with RE footage and red footage and as much as possible. You know what I mean? But I love B-Raw. For what? Dude, Black Magic, I mean, they redefine shit
Everybody gets
Oh,
your
fucking
coffee, get
yeah.
a drink,
Dude,
'cause it's gonna be a minute.
for fucking, people getting into cinematography, you can't beat it, man, as far as like what you get and what you can do in the image and the color that you can get out of it. You know
I
what I
will
mean?
say the license with it,
And you get
fucking
resolve
makes
with it. Yeah, I mean, it's like,
extra valuable. That studio
Oh, I
license
didn't know that.
is-
yeah,
I didn't
if
know
you
that.
buy
Damn, I already have the.
pretty much any of their hardware, like you can get speed editors without a license for 300 or 400 with a license. But if you get the full size DaVinci keyboard, it comes with a license. If you get a mini panel, it comes with a license. If you get a micro panel, it comes with a license. If you get any of the cameras, it comes with a license. Like you'll end up like with extra seats before long if you buy a few things. You know what I mean? Like,
Hell yeah.
or you catch something without a license for cheap. But yeah, I really love their cameras, and I love the color science is it's good, very good. You can definitely get a great image off of it if and you got people, tons of people out there, Straw Hat Sam, Kim Tang, so many people making dope fucking naked kits and shit, which I could totally see you fusing a servo on.
One right.
Yeah, bro, and it would be money. It'd be total money,
coming
bro.
soon.
Like,
That's coming soon.
you throw that on there, throw a fucking DJI transmission on the ass end, you could build out a platform and fucking have everything you need, and the parts you could replace, and they're cheap. You can get a 4K for, get it used for $800-900 tops. You know what I mean? Or if you want a 6K, Kim Tang's making RF mounts for the nakeds, so you got lens choices galore.
Oh shit.
Yeah, man. So like, there's I have a 6K. I'm building a Steadicam with a gimbal on it. So I have it's like a Trinity. Basically, it's a Steadicam vest post with a gimbal on the head with the sled and batteries on the bottom, so I can walk around and do like fucking gimbal shots for terrestrial shit. And then
Now you're just swinging your dick around.
well, that's why I love 3-axis stuff. But anyways,
That's what she said.
this fucking that's why the show's like, I was totally nerding out. I was like, hell yeah, let's talk gimbals. Fucking yeah, man. I think that for getting in, fucking the nakeds are really nice. That's a great platform.
For getting in,
Fucking
the nakeds are nice.
Get your head out of the fucking gutter, homie. God damn it.
When are the bots showing up, brother?
Yeah, right. You have to start the spam bot. Yeah, man. Fucking, look, there's a lot of other fucking great cameras. That new Sony EVZ1 or whatever, that's a great camera. That's not terribly expensive. Or whatever. I think I may have got the alphabet in the wrong order, but it's something along that line. I think it's EVZ1 or something like that. It's a good camera. I just really like, I like Red's codec. I like Ari's codec. I like the raw formats because you have so much. There's so much you can do in post when you want to polish it and make it look really nice. You can shoot with a sharp lens and soften it if you want to. Or you could whatever. That's the nice thing about those cameras. They're a touch soft already. You know what I mean? So they're pretty filmic. If that's so as far as getting gigs. Plus every DP knows it. You know what I mean? You don't have a Red. It's definitely your next best. I think your next best bet.
So do you find when you're doing work that you are doing much post work, or are you just handing over files?
Nowadays I try and just hand over like files, like stabilized files, but that's
Sure.
what I try and do more of. I still occasionally will do like full production, but now what I do, I've sort of I am learning editing as I go over the last few years, but I'm still not a great editor, and so I hire out an editor for when I'm doing full production
Sure.
stuff.
Nice.
but I've been trying to do more work where I'm just exclusively a drone op is sort of
Absolutely.
what I've been on.
Mhm.
Post production is a whole different like hobby in of its own.
Dude, yes. It's so
In
much
a
to
big
learn.
fucking way. Absolutely.
I think it's important. Like, I mean, obviously, if you're working on a production, they've got a DP and they already know the camera, and they're gonna set, you know, the DP and the ACs are gonna set the camera basically. You know, fucking, they want it this way. They're gonna set it up and check it, make sure it's good. But you know, for me, it's like, you know, working on color and editing and all that stuff, it will make you a better camera operator and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? You know, you will get better at shooting and framing shots if you're reviewing your own footage and fucking working on it and trying to actually put it in the context of an edit. That's the best way to learn how to shoot, in my opinion, and vice versa. Like, you shoot to edit to shoot, you know, learn. And then color's a whole nother, you know, flavor, you know. I love the color. I would love to have an editor that I just fucking, you know, they build timelines, I fucking polish it, make it look nice, we render it out, boom, here you go. You know, I love that shit. Fucking, but I say
Dragon
that.
ears, homie.
What up, Dragon?
What up, dude?
So yeah, man, I think that's fucking amazing. Dragon. Sorry. Fucking.
Oh,
That's hella cool. So back to kind of your gimbal setup. Now you have a storefront. You sell those. Do you sell those pre-built? Do you sell them as kits? Do you sell them like total drone build out?
yes, all of the above. I have stopped doing as many pre-builts as far as pre-built drones just because they sat on the shelf for too long. Because what I was doing for a while was buying pre-builts and then adding the gimbal and then selling like the pre-built with the gimbal added. But sort of the cost of buying them and how long they would sit on the shelf. So now they're still on the store, but they're mostly like sold out.
Build to order.
Yeah, and I've considered doing build to order like pre-builts, but I don't know. I don't consider myself to be a good enough builder to where I would feel comfortable selling people full builds that I did. I mean, not to say I'm a bad builder, but like you know, when you think about people who
that's a lot of time. I mean,
Yeah,
the
that
costs
too,
start
yeah.
to go up when it's you having to spend your time doing that. I mean, I can see that, dude. I mean, especially if you're doing professional work, you've got outside job, you've got all these other, you know, commitments of your time, R&D for these gimbals. Like building is a whole nother thing, sort of like, you know, fucking editing or coloring or something like that.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
A whole nother discipline.
Yeah.
And I feel you. I would want to mitigate having to do that because let me tell you, although I will say fresh builds are definitely, if I've got a build, doing a fresh build is my favorite, not rebuilding, but still, man, I'd rather just be able to show up.
Oh, I was.
So if someone is if someone is interested in
camera on it.
if someone's interested in purchasing one, what it's like the process that they would go through to get one from you?
Yeah, so first of all, I have like open source designs like available if someone wants to just do it themselves. But if they want to do it, if they want to get flying with it as sort of quickly and easily as they can, and with the least hassle, I offer just fully pre-built gimbals that you can mount on your drone. I have tutorials for that. Yeah, the gimbals are available for like I think I have over 40 different frames currently supported. So you just
Nice.
go on my store, you know, select whichever frame you want. I also have an option to commission a new design, where if your frame isn't supported, you can commission a design to be made for your frame. If I can't make it for whatever reason, I will refund money. Like, but yeah, you can just like all the time they're coming in where people, you know, they don't want to build a new quad for it. They want to put it on a quad they have. And yeah, they can commission a design for it. But yeah, the idea is to be able to take a setup that you currently have and you know, fly it with the gimbal, essentially.
Dope. Have you done one for the Insider? The Shendron's Insider? Have you done one for that yet? Just curious.
Is that one of their?
It's one of Andy's.
That's,
it's one of his ducted city lifters. It's a small one. It was a 4-inch. I'm converting mine over to 5 or 6. I haven't decided, or maybe 5.5. I'm converting mine into a pusher, but Andy Shen made a big Cinewhoop. It was a 4-inch called the Insider. I was just curious because it was on my.
I remember that now that they mentioned. I hadn't thought about that drone in a while, but that one might actually. Part of me wonders if the Insider.
I think it's the same top as
top plate
is the thick.
Is the thick?
I think it's a thick.
Yeah. So the thick gimbal should work.
Right on.
So the current thick gimbal would probably work with that, and I'm gonna be like redoing my Cinelifter gimbals to like be way better. They're gonna be way more refined. That's sort of the next thing after I release the sub 250 is to move on to more Cinelifter stuff. But yeah, the Insider might actually be like currently supported. I just haven't tried it on one.
I'll photocopy the top plate of mine. Fucking yeah.
But just to finish that sort of like if someone's wanting to try it, yeah. So just on my store offer a whole bunch of different gimbals for various frames. You can get the gimbal as well as the head tracker. I have pre-built head trackers for sale. There's also again like sort of there's open source options for all of this, including the head tracker, and it's fairly cheap. I think I try and make it sort of sensibly priced and stuff. And yeah, it's
for
the
sure.
best way to start is with the Whoop gimbal for sure. The Whoop gimbals are super cheap and yeah, let you sort of get flying with it with something that. Okay.
Go ahead, man. I'm sorry. I was just going to ask if if you had a preferred whoop to put it on. Like if you had a particular setup that you prefer over, something else. I don't know.
Like 75 mil, 65 mil.
Yeah, 75. I would say 75 only because the gimbal adds about 5 grams. So with whoops, weights like
every
so I'd
gram
say
matters. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So the Mobula 7 is what I currently use.
Right on.
But that said, people like Ciotti or White Fox would know better because I mean, really, just a powerful whoop is sort of what you want. And for me, the Mobula 7 is great. I freaking love this thing. But
yeah, I have a Mob 6.
A whoop expert.
Right on. No, that's dope. I said I have a Mobula 6. Yeah, I love it. I think they're dope little whoops.
Oh hell yeah.
I'm surprised Patrick J. Clark hasn't gotten on this shit too. I wanted to ask, what do you feel about? How do you feel about where the route? I guess where we stand with remote ID, and especially as somebody who's potentially still trying to sell, quads and shit. How do you feel about that? Has that impacted you in any way yet?
It hasn't impacted me only because I'm sort of not letting myself worry about it yet, essentially. Like I know it's coming. I know that for filming, I'm most clients, or maybe not most clients, but at least some clients are gonna be aware of it and expect it. And so, I plan to be able to be compliant. But I am anticipating what you guys are talking about, where I think it's going to get delayed again. I don't expect it to be on schedule. And I also think there's going to be a big delay between where it comes into effect and where people know it's in effect. And I try and like as far as airspace is concerned, I try and always fly legally and like fly. I basically abide by the FAA. But
are you 107?
Yeah.
So you're like, we have to comply. We basically have to comply. We have no choice. Yeah.
Yes. Well. Yes. I will certainly. I will comply. At least when I have to.
On TV, we comply.
I fucking love how everybody squirms. Every professional I've ever talked to makes that face and says, "Yes, we comply."
What's up, Doom Rider?
We comply.
I take a lot of the rules really seriously that the FAA has, like, flight over people, especially. Like,
Uh-huh.
I don't fuck around. Like, some people will like fly full size quads over crowds. I definitely don't do that shit. But I think the rules, the FAA has put more thought than I think we give them credit for a lot of the rules they give us. Like the sub 250, I think is, some people are like, that's a ridiculously low number, and for me, I'm kind of like, well, if you're falling from 400 feet onto someone's head, like it's kind of important that it's
Not
a-
doing much
a-
harm. Yeah.
yeah,
Not going to go
exactly.
through your head.
Well, you can
If
get,
that
you know,
were-
if
lawn dart.
if you have RID, you can go Cat 2 and 3, you know. I mean, Cat 4 is when you have to get an airworthiness certificate, but fucking, you know, I mean, 22 pounds per square inch on a fucking Cat 3? That's, you know, my 10s would definitely be up in that range. The 10, you know what I mean? And so it's like, yo, yeah, I freak out if somebody walks in front of my 10-inch when I'm flying. Like, that's the worst feeling.
As you should.
Because,
that thing's
dude, I
fucking
mean-
decapitate a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Well, you just, I
Those
mean,
props are gnarly, man. That fucking graphite carbon shit.
do
Yeah,
not want
no
to
thanks.
feel that feels of hurting somebody, bro. You know what I mean? Like, and
No, definitely not.
and so that's really
Chris
yeah.
Teal in the motherfucking house.
Chris Steele in the
What up,
motherfucking house.
Hey guys, I didn't want to interrupt you.
yeah.
What's good, man?
I was just listening, but I had to hop in and say what's up to the man himself.
Hey, oh, dude. Yo,
Nice
how
to
you
meet you.
doing, man?
Yeah, fucking Zoom high fives, y'all.
Zoom high fives.
Dude.
Just
Yo,
post COVID, guys. Let's do a little dap. I mean,
yo,
Can we
Chris,
hug
I
again? Is that cool? Like, what's up? Do people hug? Can I have a hug?
Chad hasn't left the house since COVID.
I know,
so-
bro. I've been in the fucking yeah, underground in fucking
Lives in a
color.
bunker.
Underground,
You've just been playing with camera knobs in DaVinci, dude.
bro. That's all
Yeah,
I
dude,
do.
He's been slinging his fucking steady cam shit around, playing with that nice camera rod,
Gotta play with the camera rod.
doing those flips. Like that meme shit. I just imagine you running around your sister's house like, oh fuck yeah.
Bro, do you know there's
Wow.
actually a dude, if anybody's ever interested in Steadicams, there's a dude called Steadicam Red, and he's just this redhead Steadicam guy. He's got a YouTube channel, and he dances with that shit, bro. Yeah, dude. He's like when COVID, he made videos when COVID was going on. He's like he drew a line on the floor, was like saying like this is how you do like different kind of dances, and he's actually doing like real dances and showing how to move the camera, you know, with the whole
cool.
Steadicam arm and shit, bro. It's bananas, but it's sick. It's sick as fuck. You're like, oh god
Yeah,
damn.
He gets so stoked on it.
Ah, dude, I'm
love
such a
this
camera nerd. I love imagery, man. I just love images.
Bro, DJI got me, dude. I had to buy that new Mavic, dude. That
Did ya?
Air 3.
The Air 3?
nice.
Yeah.
Dude, I want to grab that. That thing looks
How do
sick.
you like it?
Have you got
I
it
just
out?
Got it. I did
Oh,
supposed to
shit.
show up today, but
Yeah, I was gonna say, did it just drop like yesterday or today?
yesterday.
Yeah, yeah.
It was gonna be
Gearhead!
overnight, but I wasn't here to sign for it, so it's coming tomorrow.
Ah,
Boo.
I haven't looked into that one. What's
Oh, dude, it's
what's good
nasty. I
about
got
it?
the email yesterday.
Yeah, what 04 transmission, 20-kilometer range.
D-Cine like, right?
You say 04 transmission?
It's got a couple
Or
of
D-Log.
weird things that you wouldn't expect. It goes backwards in a couple of aspects, but it's got a couple of things that kind of do it for me. Like what?
can you get a
4K,
ProRes
100?
license for it?
No,
Not for that one? Okay.
no. I think they're gonna come out with a Cine package,
Yeah,
or a model. You know, they'll
but
probably
I mean,
have.
just a couple. You know, the zoom lens, like it.
They got to sell Mavic 3s, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
So like
For
the
$5,000 versus $1,500 for the Fly More. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's so cheap.
No, I saw the price. I was like, that's a really good price.
Well, when I saw the price, I was like, "What? Really,
Yeah.
DJI? All right, let's go."
yeah. No, and I've had the Air 2S this whole last year, and it's made me a bunch of money. So it's basically like
Yeah.
just from my last drone. I'm like, the last one paid for this one.
Right.
Yeah, we doing that thing.
Right.
You know how it is to get paid in gigs too. I just collected a check from like months ago.
Months ago,
like,
yeah,
all
I
right, cool,
bet.
perfect timing.
I got
was,
money.
like,
Let's
sweating the-
go.
yeah, I was sweating the dude, but I'm like, it came at the right time.
I know,
Yeah.
bro. I
Hey,
know.
the
It's-
universe got you, homie.
Every time I
It knows.
get money, I'm buying color shit and fucking gizmos for the fucking camera
He's
rig.
buying rods.
And then I've been buying music shit too lately. That
I saw you popped up that fucking Instagram account.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been, like, it's always been a love, and, like, I was like, man, if I died tomorrow, what would I do on today? I'm like, definitely music, is a big part of me, so I was like, I'll mess around with it again. I've been having fun.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I broke out the VJ software for a minute yesterday, just fucking around. I was like, put some music on, found some fuck, you know what I mean? Just started fucking around. I was like, yeah, I can't wait, man, to start doing some more music myself.
Speaking of secondary hobbies, Josh, do you have any, like,
Yeah, that's a great question.
other hobbies?
Great question.
Well, currently I don't spend much time on them, but yeah, I fucking
I know that feeling.
Yeah, dude. But I guess like 5 years ago, actually because of FPV, I just wanted to be able to get into cooler spots. I got into dirt biking or dual sport riding.
Nice.
Nice.
Fuck yes, bro.
Yeah, dude. I fucking and yeah, yo, Chris, I saw that CRF.
Yep,
is it a
I got my
CRF or
bike,
something?
dude. I just pulled her out of the storage. It's,
Yeah, look at that,
TLC,
dude.
but
Yes.
dude, that's what I did before drones, So
Yeah,
like,
same.
when
Four
I
hours
got
for me
when I
there.
got into drones, I wanted to race, because I wanted that adrenaline,
For sure.
and it's the same. I can tell you, it's the same. Racing a dirt bike, very similar to racing a drone.
Right.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
Especially when you like go low to high and do like air things out. Like
Just
when you
lining
like
up.
huck shit, man.
No, just
that-
lining up,
love
waiting
that
for
shit.
that tone to go.
Oh, dude, I bet.
That's it's the same feeling. You're like,
I do this whip move when I freestyle that I get from motocross. I don't ride motocross, but like I try to like I
little
try to
scrub and
imitate that way,
speed
like
there, bud.
do a tail whip and then kind of pull it straight as you go on over the jump.
Gearhead, what up, homie?
oh, is Eric in the chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dragons in the chat. Doom Riders in the chat.
Oh, look at you, Chad. You got another sub. You're at 910. We might get you to 1,000 before the year ends.
Bro, it goes up and down every fucking month and has been forever.
You need to start you a campaign to 1K.
We do need to start a campaign for 1K.
Exactly. Gearhead knows. Crashing hurts way less. It only hurts your pocket, not your bones.
Yeah.
Exactly, brother. Well, I used to race a YFZ 450 in motocross. My fat ass, man, dude.
Yep.
And
So I don't skate no more.
that's why I had to get out of it. I started getting I started working on guitars and my hands
608.
crash and sucks.
So then,
And everything was like $600. Didn't matter what the fuck you broke. It's gonna be $600 minimum.
yep. No, last time my bike went in the shop, it was $1,600, and it's
Jeez.
borderline as much you want to spend on that year bike. It's like
Right.
the new one's not that much more.
Yeah, it's like, that $8,000 extra is sounding a whole lot better.
Bro, all because the chain got loose, hopped off, grabbed the shift rod that goes in, the suspension, and pulled it back and split the case right there.
Oh, fuck that! Ouch.
That sucks.
That sucks.
And that replacement, you got to split the case.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I've done the top end on that fucker, but I won't do the bottom end.
Yeah,
Right.
No, bro. Yeah.
Splitting cases isn't.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Now, Josh, what do you ride?
I have a DR350. That's super sick. It's big bored out to a 388. Has a full
Nice.
intake and exhaust. Has full. Oh my gosh, what is it? It has full suspension.
Nice.
And like it's
Hell yeah, done
freaking.
up.
It's a beast.
That's
Hell
cool.
yeah.
But yeah, and it's street legal as well. I don't do a ton of street riding just because I get nervous at red lights. I really don't like the idea of someone killing me from behind. But
Yeah.
So, I'll just tell you right now, dude,
I love
bikes, but I'm anti-street bikes. I have too many homies, family that have died
For
and
sure.
hurt themselves on bikes.
Shout
It's
out to
so
anybody
cool.
on the
I love
road
it,
with
but-
those homies, but be careful, guys.
Yeah, ride safe, you guys.
Yeah, I
It's
mean-
never, like, look, I trust my homies that ride. I don't trust the drivers.
Right.
Yeah, it's never the person.
You don't want
It's
to get
rarely the
pinned from
person.
behind, dude.
Exactly. You just never had a chance.
Well, there's two people that ride bikes. Those that have wrecked and those that are going to wreck.
For sure.
There's Unruly in the chat. Rest in peace, his bike.
Ooh, what? Yikes!
What?
He wheelied over and
Oh.
it was a while ago, but he used to now, like, that was his transportation. Now he doesn't have that.
Yikes! Shout out to you, brother.
Yeah.
Hope you find some transportation.
Yeah.
Hey,
Dude, that's,
608, what up, homie?
Hey, that's dope. You raced though, or I guess both of y'all raced. That's fucking. Oh man, the times I've like been out to motocross tracks, I do enduros type stuff.
Yeah.
But motocross.
I
dude,
started with cross country races, like GNCC kind of stuff.
I did a lot of
yeah.
like arena cross up in Wyoming. I was doing like real.
Oh no shit! Those super
real-
fucking tight tracks.
Real tight courses, you know. And
Oh
then,
fuck that!
and
dude.
we were doing like the motocross, bigger tracks, dude. I like the open class, you know, because it was just like everybody, you know, it was less. It was still competitive, but less.
Yeah,
like,
but less aggressive. Fuck.
exactly. Like it was more my speed, you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I always liked like free riding, just going off in the country and just going up the mountain.
That's one thing
We
about
got this place in Georgia
street
called
bikes.
Durhamtown Plantation. It's like 20,000 acres. It's got like
Yeah.
6 motocross tracks on it.
Holy
That's
shit.
where I used to call home, dude. It's
No.
huge, man. It's awesome. I love shit like that. Shout out to all the homies that are not gonna ever see this, but
my homies. One of my homies, FPV homies from New York City, who moved to Cali during COVID, had to go back to New York City to get his Harley and ride that motherfucker back to Cali, bro. He just did that ride, dude, and he stopped by and fucking we hung out for an afternoon and
How many
bullshit.
miles
But
is that?
bro, it's a
Lots of
fuck
them.
ton.
It's all the miles.
It's all the miles, yeah, bro.
Honestly though, some guys live for that shit.
Yeah.
for sure.
I don't know if I would ever do that.
Rat, what's going
Bro,
on?
NYC to LA is like
I want to. I really want to. Like the idea is super romantic, but
sounds fun. Yeah,
bro,
it sounds fun.
I used to ride some street bikes. Like never mind, I never had to buy one, but I mean, I got into some hairy situations pretty easily, and I just no thanks, man. I love life.
You mean
I love
you
life.
ride that long,
premature death.
you're gonna get fucking tired too.
That's what I'm
Bro,
saying. Exactly. That's a long
yeah.
drive.
You gotta
I'm
stop.
I'm that motherfucker right there that will definitely fall asleep on the front of a Gixxer 750 or something. Going
Dude,
90.
Yeah.
It wasn't until my trip back from IO that I didn't really see how it was possible someone could fall asleep driving. It wasn't until I fucking got into Pennsylvania and we were driving to fucking drop the U-Haul off, I fucking started drifting off to sleep. Next thing I fucking knew, I was in the fucking left lane, just like, holy shit. Next thing my fucking adrenaline was pumping from there. I'm like, yo, that was the scariest shit ever.
Yeah,
Oh, that
dude.
should happen. That should happen.
Come to
That's
Atlanta.
why-
Come drive on 285 at 3 in the morning. You'll see all those people.
I'm also pro, you know, Teslas and stuff.
Yeah. AI
for the
driving?
safety reason. For the safety
Oh,
reason.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
real.
my dad's girlfriend had their friend came over and she's like telling him, she's like, oh, hey, show him the video from your car. And I was like, what? And she's like, all right, hold on. She pulls it up and it's her going down a California freeway at 3 in the morning. You know, no cars around. It's going down like the far, you know, second to most left lane, and you could see this car, like she's just driving, she's not paying attention, so she like, you know, she doesn't really react. But you can see the car, it shows like all the different views of the camera, and the car's like hauling dick up behind her. He gets right next to her, swerves into her, and the car corrects, and she's like, oh, what the fuck was that, you know? And
No
she thought she got hit, but it was the car fucking
Just
getting away.
moved out of the way.
Oh shit.
That car,
Dang, that's sick.
that car went and crashed into another car, and that person died. They told me that
Damn.
story. I was like, "Oh shit, that Tesla just saved your life." She's like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
That's just
Oh,
crazy,
fuck.
bro.
No shit.
Well, bro, I mean,
And people suck at driving. I guarantee
Yeah.
your drives better than 99.9% of people out there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. It does. Well,
It might be a little buggy right now, but
I mean, it's driving on math, bro.
yeah.
That's all I'm saying. It's driving on fucking math. Math don't fuck up.
Yeah, I
I
honestly
mean,
didn't think I'd see
people that
self-driving
program it
cars in
do.
my life.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Except there's that bug that we fucked up. Commas in the
Yeah, there's a
wrong
couple of
place.
bugs, dude, but-
Commas
Hey,
in the
dude,
wrong place.
I watched a porn once.
This
They were fucking
motherfucker.
down the road. If that can happen. Anything's possible. I'm just saying. I watched a dude driving down the other day. I mean, this was like 2 days ago. I'm driving down 75 at like 85 miles an hour. This dude's in like the Hove lane, H to the OV, fucking reading a book. Not even facing the road, like sitting to the side, like
Just chilling.
not even facing the driver window, like who's beside me? Who gives a fuck? I'm just gonna
Chilling out and reading my
Tolkien over
book.
here.
Damn, that's wild. Holy shit.
That freaked me the fuck out, man. I was like, dude. But he didn't crash into me. He was good. So yeah, AI driving. Maybe then if everybody's driving on self-driving cars, maybe then it'll be cool to
Bro, it's gonna be like a motherfucking Fifth Element.
Which level are you on?
You have now lost 5 points on your license.
Oh yeah. That's awesome.
You're gonna be fucking. It's funny, actually, kind of off topic, but yesterday in one of the Da Vinci groups, there was a dude. He started a post. He's like, "Can I get a version without AI?" Like, he was dead serious, and I was like, why? I was like, well, you don't have to upgrade. I was like, but he was dead. He was like, AI. He started going off about how it needed to upgrade. It's not a good thing, and all this. I don't want that on my computer. And like, I was like, God damn, bro. I was like, I mean fair enough.
Look, let's be real.
It's a legitimate concern.
Goes two directions, homie. AI goes two directions. Skynet ain't fucking around.
Skynet was a fucking military AI, though. We're making art. Like, fuck.
Yeah, until someone fucking pisses off a fucking a singularity fucking AI, and then it fucking just goes
Oh, look
nuts.
at this guy's working on. Hell yeah, dude.
That thing.
That thing's fucking awesome, dude.
She is a beauty.
So I put the motor wires inside the arms.
Oh,
No
my.
shit.
It's
Yeah.
interesting.
That's super clean.
Oh.
So how do they go in the arms?
They're just two-piece arms with a channel inside that bolt together.
Nice.
How high can that thing go?
How high?
400 feet AGL, motherfucker.
400 feet, sir.
The correct answer is 400 feet.
Show me 400, Bob.
Can I have 400 back? All right.
I can't wait to see Josh's fucking that thing on nice dive shot, like you were saying, go flying up, looking down, and then diving. Man, let's go.
Dude, like what you were doing at the silo that day. Fucking flying down and then fucking spinning and then flying back up the silo.
Yeah,
That shit was dope, dude.
Yeah, super mind melty. Love all that stuff.
All that shit, dude. I just, like I said, I'm diving through the trees,
Yeah, looking down as you're going down.
Yeah, I mean that shot you come into the woods where you're focused on that jump there with the dirt, like the dirt jumpers.
Oh yeah.
In the woods there, like just that just made that shot everything when you just came down through the trees, tilted down.
That's fucking.
Oh, sick, dude! It's so nasty.
That's
And
actually.
it's so simple that makes it look so much better. It's blows my mind.
Dude, hell yeah. Like, appreciate it. And yeah, it's like it's not as hard to fly as you think. Like it's when you're looking down, like it mimics flying a full scale aircraft. So it's pretty intuitive, like how the control mixing is. Like when you're looking down, if you're imagining you're in the craft, like roll when you're in heavy negative angle, yaw being your roll, which is when you go past 45 degrees, they swap. And that becomes intuitive, because it's just it just mimics as if you were just flying a helicopter, it's and
Well, because you're physically going in that direction, so that's what I can't wrap my head around. Like now you can actually get that negative angle. I got to get my I can play because that.
Let's check out a couple. He's got a couple videos here we're gonna check out really quick and
dab time, everyone.
Let's take a look at.
Hop out and watch from the chat. I just want to come and say what's up to you guys.
Well, Chris, fucking
tomorrow.
Hey man, thanks for stopping by, dude.
Chris,
dude.
awesome to see you, brother. Fucking.
Have a great night.
What's love, man?
Yeah, man.
You too.
All right, let's check this out. We can fucking keep talking.
Man.
Oh. I was just down in Florida.
This is at the Barbecue Bando.
Right on.
That's South Georgia.
Oh.
That's so cool.
Oh, South Georgia. That's right. I forgot.
Yeah, I think it was in Georgia. It was some.
Yeah, it's near my neck of the woods. It's about 3 hours from me.
I like how you mix like the nice juicy freestyle moves, and then like you'll add the head tracking in where it becomes like more of a subtle use of it rather than being the object of your flight. You know what I mean? I think it's a nice mix.
Oh, thanks. And that's like something I'm always conflicted because I'm always tempted to sort of show off some of like the unique moves that the gimbal allows.
Right.
But you know, a lot of the freestyle moves that we currently do look great, and so it's like there are at times I feel I overuse the gimbal a bit. But speaking of traditional freestyle and stuff, there's also like you can do variations of various freestyle tricks. For example, a power loop. We normally like the camera just continues with the drone, but what you can do with the power loop to mix it up is as you initiate it, you can start looking down.
Right.
And you can look down as you go and keep looking forward. And then as you're like at the top of the power loop, then
Go sight your entrance. That's so sick, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and it just kind of, you can just change the feel of the freestyle tricks we know and love, you know.
Well, that's like 3D flying too. I think when some pilots use 3D, I think they overuse the 3D into like making, like I said, that the object of the flight rather than complementing the flight, which I think adds more. You know, the term less is more.
Yes.
Yeah, like that pullback on the car just there was fucking.
Yeah.
You know, it feels so crazy to get in front of a car and be looking down and just like, ah! and then you look up while you push forward, like, and then go into a chase. It's such a gnarly feeling.
Yeah, but it's wild.
Now earlier you said that
most ridiculous trippy spins. Yeah, I bet.
So,
go ahead, Artie.
Were you saying earlier before the show you were talking about the MOAR Matter gimbal?
Oh yes.
Have you attached your gimbal onto that?
Yeah, for sure.
And how does that function? It
functions just like it normally would. It just keeps the roll stabilized, and it mounts to that. And because it's mounted to the gimbal, it follows the movements. And so if you're looking down, it'll be looking in the same direction, but just stabilizing that last.
Yeah. Well, because I love using it to chase things. Like my 7-inch, I mount that MOAR Matter gimbal on, and I like having that stabilized roll, especially for like real steady. I haven't really got too much into gyro flow, but it helped real steady handle shots, so I could keep them wider and have more room to bank in or pull out, whatever.
Hell yeah, like again, like sort of what my project is doing is taking FPV from 4 degrees of freedom to 5, and if you combine a roll axis gimbal, like you're at full 6 degrees of freedom, which basically means you can move anywhere you want while looking anywhere you want, like keeping the camera oriented however you want while you move, however, like
that's fucking dope.
Freedom.
Do you find it useful, or do you find it that you don't really use it often?
So I might be using it wrong. I've been actually, you can see I've modified the mount on there to balance like a GoPro 10 a little bit better. But I've had a problem where when I'm in a banked turn, it'll get off from center, and because of that, I have not used the cork that often. I have used it though.
I reached out to him a while back. I mean, it was like, I don't know, whenever I got it, a year or two ago now, about updating their firmware. And they haven't really, it doesn't seem like they've done much of anything, because that just seems like that's what that is a firmware issue. Because there was other people that don't have the problem, but there are most people that are using.
Can you tune the PIDs on it? On the Quark? Can you tune the PIDs on it?
No.
No, but you can tune the PIDs on the Go Stand or Goose Stand Namaste gimbal.
Oh, word.
Seen this thing?
Oh, yeah,
But you can. This is a standard Storm 32 gimbal that he's basically packaged in this little package that uses a GoPro tabs, and it's super sick. I still don't know how to pronounce his last name correctly. It's like Goose Stand or Go Stand, but David Go Stand. Yeah, this gimbal is sick. And this is 2-axis. Yeah, it's serious one. It's 2-axis, which you would think you wouldn't need that pitch axis, and you don't. But the beauty of this setup is that you can live stream. Like, it's adding stabilization for the pitch, and basically it follows the pitch. So if I look down, it's going to follow, but the whole time it's just keeping a little bit of stabilization in there. And so if you're trying to use it for like live streaming, this is like a super badass live broadcast setup.
Nice.
Basically, you're like mechanically stabilized, but this one you can tune the PIDs to, and it doesn't have that same like drift problem that the Quark has.
And what camera are you running on that?
So this is currently a air unit, 03 air unit package. It's like just a self-contained little 03 air unit. And so this is like a live broadcast configuration right now.
Right.
That's kind of a cool little thing. You could put that on like top of most drones too.
Yeah, exactly.
So cool.
Yes, this
I have a drone I could use that on right now.
Hell yeah. Yeah, this is like the 03 package is super dope. And this drone actually has is analog video for the piloting, and because of that, I'm running a cheater quad setup.
Nice.
Right.
And so it's actually surprisingly intuitive, but I have a momentary switch that enables the cheater quad, and I still have control of the gimbal. And so like I'll be like looking down, going backwards, and then I just flick into the backwards camera, and I can it's surprising to me that it is actually still intuitive, but I can like coordinate movement still of the gimbal. Like intuitively, I know that if I'm in that rear camera and I'm braking, that I need to look down. Like it swaps, but it's weirdly intuitive.
But you've that's crazy, man.
Do you
That's
flip your controls in cheater mode?
Yes. Yeah, I flip. I guess it's roll and pitch. Yes. Wait. Yes.
I just did roll.
Roll and pitch. Yeah.
I just did roll.
Or wait, is it just roll? Yeah. Wait a second. So your pitch down. No, it's roll and pitch, right? Shit, I think it's roll and pitch. I'd have to look at my OpenGX setup, but I think it's
fair enough. Yeah, I'd have to do this. I'd have to do the same. Fucking.
That's dope. That's dope. So, are there any other cool little bits that you've got over there that you're working on, or any new projects or things that you're refining a little bit, other than say your Cinelifter and stuff?
So yes, the naked black magic will be a thing coming for too long. I have a couple things that I'm eventually gonna build, and it's probably kind of down the line, but I have a couple ideas for what I would consider to be sort of the ultimate filmmaking machine. And it's going to be optionally single op or dual op. It's going to have full 6 degrees of freedom. It's going to have full cinema camera support, and like it's going to be fucking badass. But it's like
sounds exciting.
The problem I've had with and the reason my Cinelifter is so like caveman design right now is because there's so many fewer users of Cinelifters and like that space, that it just, for me, it made a lot more sense to do things like the Whoop gimbal and like the sub 250 and to refine the design of the GoPro gimbals, like
For sure.
you know, before moving into that space.
The Whoop gimbal is mint. I mean, I would love that to get used to it. Throw it on something like this little guy and fucking just
Yo,
practice it, and then get into the full scale one.
dude,
Yeah,
yes,
that's so cool.
the servo, you can buy it for me for like, I think it's $30 on the store, or the designs are open source. If you have a 3D printer, dude, it's like, I think the servo's like $7-8. I think you may have to buy two at once, so it ends up being like 12 or 14. But I mean, it's super cheap, dude, and you don't even have to start off with a head tracker. You could just start off with a dial, and even that will like give you the idea.
Does the Fat Shark head tracker work with it?
Yeah, it does.
Okay,
Are there
cool.
any radios or systems you had any challenges with to get the head tracker running?
Yes.
What's-
Oh my God.
What's your recommendation there?
So, recommendation is basically any transmitter that you're currently using that is supported is what I'd recommend, but there are a few that aren't. Really the only two that come to mind, but unfortunately they're super popular. So it's like I've been pleading with TBS. Like,
Yeah, it's probably. Yeah, I was gonna say it's the Tango and Mambo, isn't it?
yes, exactly. Yeah. And it's a damn shame they don't support any type of trainer function. That's what we're using with transmitters, is we're basically hijacking the buddy box system
Right.
that a lot of transmitters used to have, and so a lot of transmitters still do have. But as multi-rotors became like, you know, dominant in the space, or at least became more popular, there were these transmitters like the Mambo and Tango that are dedicated for multi-rotors, and buddy boxing isn't quite as common for that use case.
There's just not a physical jack on those radios, right? Is that part of the challenge?
Part of the challenge. I think they do have a jack, but it's like I forget the exact specifics, but
Is there a way to jack straight in the crossfire, like if you had a module?
yes, yeah, exactly. And that's sort of the workaround is you can use a Mambo or Tango, but you have to put on the micro or mini JR module. You have to put on an adapter to go from the mini to the full size JR module,
Right.
And then you have to mount the full size crossfire on it, and then it'll work. But, yeah.
So if somebody had a
that's funny.
full size crossfire now, like on already like in a radio with a full size JR, you could just go head tracker straight into crossfire,
Yes.
right?
Yes, yeah, exactly.
That's dope. So you're not even really limited, because I was going to ask, like, have you seen any limitations with Edge TX versus any of the Open TX radios or anything of that nature, you know? Or wait, what is TBS running now? Is it Freedom? Freedom? What the hell are they running right now? What's their
TX?
Was
Is
it?
that what they're...
I know it was at
I
one
don't know,
point.
is it popular?
Fucking hell.
My tutorials are based around OpenTX, and also one thing that's worth mentioning probably is that you can totally use the crossfire straight into the input there, like for the full size crossfire modules. But what you do lose the ability to use OpenTX functions. Like for example, I run my setup where a switch goes from full range of motion to reduced range of motion to a slider / dial. And you can't do that if you're going straight into the crossfire, because you're just like, it's just a straight you're just going to have to be full strength head tracking all the time, basically, which kind of sucks. But like, but it still works. And also, if/when, and hopefully it's a win. You guys try this. The best way to try it is to start off with a reduced range of motion, which basically you just lower the weight for the channel in OpenTX.
Right.
Yeah, I recommend like positive 20 to negative 20. Starting off with, and then like with that range of motion, you really can't get yourself into trouble. Like it's so close to flying fixed angle that's like you're not going to get into trouble. And that's like at IO, dude, Greg, it's too bad I didn't see you in the Whoop tent when we were doing this, but yeah, I like passed around the Whoop gimbal and let people fly it, and that's what I do is I'd let them take off with the reduced range of motion, and then pretty much everybody, like after about 30 seconds to a minute of flying it, felt comfortable enough to where I was like, okay, are you ready? And I switched them into full range of motion,
Mhm.
and sort of let them get a taste of what.
Yeah, if I had known you were doing that, I would have been right over there, man.
Dude, yeah, it's too bad, dude. But fuck yeah,
It's probably
that's
that
it,
same
man.
time me and Juicy went off on our own to go fly whoops and freestyle them some random spot at IO.
Oh no shit.
Actually, I haven't
Yeah, we
known.
ended up doing that a couple times.
Have you done a mount for a bandolero yet? A BQE bandolero. You know that one?
I don't think so. No,
Right on.
but that said, I do design commissions, and they're pretty. It's pretty cheap. Like it's like I think it's like $60 or something like that
Is-
for a new design.
Are you building a one piece with the servo and the mounting pattern all like it's a one piece print basically? Is that how you're doing them currently, or is the servo block separate from the mount?
It is one piece. Yeah, sorry,
Okay.
it took me a second to figure out what you were asking. It's one
Right on.
piece. Part of me wonders because it would make from like a manufacturing perspective, it would make it so much freaking easier if it was a two-piece design, because like that way the rest of the gimbal could be universal.
Yes.
But currently the mount is like basically the base is specific to each drone and designed for it, like to mount on it, and then the universal mount, the thing that actually moves, is the same for all of them.
How much pack clearance do you think you can gain with that? Can you gain a bit of pack clearance if you wanted to run a slightly bigger pack to offset the weight, and you know what I mean? Because if you have a fixed mount GoPro, it's kind of usually sitting in a place that, if you're top mounting your pack, it's, but with the gimbal, you're kind of pushing it forward to some degree, right? But obviously the servo's there. Have you noticed?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it depends on your frame. Like here you can see on the Xylo, like you have a good bit of room there. But I think if the GoPro was mounted here, I guess you do get a little bit of extra clearance there, because I mean the servo only goes back to here. I guess it depends, but for certain frames, like the this is my sort of filming workhorse, but I don't mind this, but some people sort of raise an eyebrow to it, and I understand why, which is that there is very little room on the top plate for the battery, and so basically you strap the battery down and it's like sticking out like this much.
Is that slam squirt?
Yes, slam squirt. Oh, I should have shown Chris. Hopefully he's still watching it.
Well, I'm just sitting here thinking, like, I'm like, because if we did a two-piece, right? Because I make prints, so it's like if there was a two-piece, you could do a base for like the slam for the squirt, and then like I want to put one. Now you got me wanting to put one. I have a smushed X 10-inch, which is a bandolero, and I also have a stretch disc. But we were talking about getting props in view on the stretch, and I could imagine that being the case on that build. I have to run a super high, like 45, 55 degree angle on the GoPro just to get them out when on a fixed mount. But I'm like, I wonder if get a little higher and or just make something for the bandolero, because it's more, the front arms are more like a dead cat almost. It's real smushed, you know what I mean? So it'd be pulled back. And what's the offset, you think? Maybe 40 mil or so from where the camera would normally be sitting, or?
Yeah, I'd say probably about maybe 30 mil or something like that. Maybe 3 centimeters or so.
Right.
But yeah, like yeah, it's just far enough. Actually, with this squirt, something kind
What
of
up,
unique
Super Dogs?
Hey, oh shit. But for this squirt, something unique about it is there's these. I've had to make these little cutouts in the ducts, and that's so they're out of view when in down tilt, because otherwise in down tilt
you catch a little
bit of the
right
duct. And so they have these little cutouts. Things dirty as hell, but these little cutouts are like a very, I don't know. It's like I cut out just enough to get it out, but it creates this little like weird angle, and it's kind of similar to this like the squirt ducts have this cutout in the front, so that in positive angle the props are out of view. But anyway, that's kind of a unique feature to have. I think to have a bottom cutout for getting your ducts out of view.
That's awesome.
Hey, sometimes you got to do what you do. I have most of the time when I use an 03, I have to shave off the very fronts of the top plate, because it usually shows in camera, and
Oh yeah,
I could do it props in view for freestyle, but not like tops of my standoffs. No, or top plate,
yeah,
you know.
I feel that. Yeah, especially in your like piloting view. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm super interested in fucking.
That slam square looks dope.
I'm super interested in throwing one on that 10 now, bro. Because like I'm like it wouldn't even
Sure.
it wouldn't
Might as
feel the
well.
weight at all, bro. Like you know what I
Yes,
mean? Like
exactly.
it's fucking
Exactly.
rad.
And I've been sleeping on building a like I think 7 inches 7 inches like the barrier to where you won't feel the thing. And actually Gab 707, he's one of like the first pro pilots to pick this up and get good at it.
Mhm.
And his setup is a 7 inch. And yeah, it like the performance on it is, this basically the same that it would be fixed angle. And if you put it on a 10 inch, you're not even gonna feel that. And considering you're not going to feel it, and it's super durable, and you can fly it fixed angle if you want. Like you can just flip a switch.
Well, the belt,
and
man.
have it.
Yeah, that belt drive
Yeah.
is clutch. I mean, it's clutch. It's awesome. Yeah, yeah, it's really dope, man. I really as soon as you showed me the belt, I was like, fuck yeah.
Dude, yeah, that was last summer was figuring out that design. That's why it's not open source at least yet. Is because I spent all last summer figuring that out. God,
That's
it took
sick.
a lot of iterations, but
I'm sure.
yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Has he tried GoPro bones on that setup?
Yes. In fact, I think I have one right here. Here's a this is actually a naked Taycan, but it has the bones on it, and yeah, like same deal. Like it's just nice having the reduced weight so you don't feel it quite as much.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's an example of the bones on there, and the sub 250. And I might actually ping Chris Teal about this because I'm kind of curious his thoughts. And maybe you guys have some thoughts on this too. First of all, one of the frames I'm going to be releasing the initial gimbals for is the snapshot. So I wanted to freaking support a drone co frame on there.
As we all.
I think it's cool.
Fuck yeah.
But,
Fuck yeah, you do.
But hell yeah. But for the mount of the sub 250 gimbal, currently the only mount style that I have is similar to the universal mount, but it's using the GoPro Bones style. Like that style of it's like one lobe. And my thoughts
One
are
flap.
that maybe
One flap.
yeah, one flap. Yeah, exactly. But my thoughts are that if someone wanted to use a camera that uses a different type, like the Nameless RC, or like there are a few different types, but I was thinking they could just use a sleeve with this mount. But I don't know if it makes more sense to just have different options for the type of naked camera mount.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that makes any sense. I wonder what definitely wonder what Chris's thoughts would be on that because I've seen for the snapshot he sells I've seen he has like 5 different camera mount options, and so it got me thinking I might need to offer different types, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, some people like to lose the flaps if they're shaving weight off a mini or something like that, and so there's, I find myself making a few variations on the mounts that I do, because of those reasons. Some people don't want to use flaps. Some people want to use flaps. You want to save weight and you don't really care to protect the camera as much. You're probably going to be using flaps. If you want to protect the camera, you could probably get away without the flaps and lose the weight and put some TPU around the camera, and so I think options are good in that regard, personally.
Gotcha.
And one thing that I always steal from Bill Brissett at BQE is using standoffs. The top piece is fucking its own self-contained thing, but it's got standoff, where I can shove tunnels, where I could shove standoffs into, and then I could build any base for anything I want and fucking just bolt it in, and they're pretty quick to change and shit like that. Chris Teal, uses standoffs in his slam squirt fixed angle, for some of those.
I've said he still wants a head track crawler.
Fuck yeah, you do. That's
That would be
I think with
fun.
crawlers and shit, that's where you really want to get, you got to get fucking pan at least going as well, and
Well, you
fucking
can
so
do
you look
that.
around,
Yeah,
look
fixed
up and
angle
down.
crawlers are hard.
Be cool if
yeah.
you could
Yeah, I feel like with a crawler, you definitely need to be able to
Yeah,
look
yeah.
around. Yeah, 'cause-
get bougie and put a little driver in it, make the camera's head, have him look out the window when you want to see the side.
Even give it a go-go gadget neck where it
POV.
comes up out of the fucking top and then you can see above.
hell yeah.
Fucking the little scissor lift comes out of the roof.
Yeah.
You can look around like artsy.
yeah.
Fuck yeah, let's go. I want a head track crawler. I want to head track everything now. Let's
I had a
go.
girlfriend we called head track crawler back in the day. Shout out to her.
Oh, shit.
That's sometimes
Swans for
I
the
just
head
can't
track
help myself.
crawler.
Swans for the
Funds for the head track crawler. Let's see here. Fucking. So where do you see yourself going from here?
So there are a couple things that I think aside from the various gimbal things that I'm going to be building, there's a couple things that, in my opinion, for FPV drones to be more capable tools, we need a couple things. And that is one, and I know you may hear this and be like, we don't need this, but like if you're using it for filmmaking or using it for as an inspection drone or for search and rescue, like we need to have optional position hold for FPV drones. So we need that, but
Yeah.
but also like that will make it so that these are more serious tools for various applications. Not that they aren't currently, but like they could definitely be.
Well, they could do everything that a Mavic can do.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
I think if we could get their performance and dynamics of an FPV drone that can also function in the autonomous, whether that means your even preloaded shots, I think are a smart move for FPV at some point. I mean, starting with position hold, right? I agree with you. I've honestly not really thought of it that way before, but
I mean, it'd be dope.
There is nothing that would be better than to have one drone that can do everything you need it to in said field, and just change the size and the camera for the application, whether that's thermal, whether that's whatever.
Being able to do a cable cam. If you could do a cable cam and you could say, I'm going from this point in space to that point in space, and I want you to loop it until I tell you otherwise. And you're gonna be your orientation is gonna be at this. You point the fucking drone where you need to point, and just have it go back and forth while you look. You can look around and do use your gimbal in whatever fashion that you want. That's the thing that I don't know if you would remember a 3DR Solo. They were one of the DJI competitors back in the day that went kaput. But back then they were very cinema minded, and so they had a lot of traditional cinematic tools like cable cam mode. You know what I mean? And you could just literally waypoint a couple spots, or you could basically automate it where you could literally just put the drone where you wanted it, point it where you wanted it, point your gimbal the way you wanted it, and then that's a spot. And then keyframe it. Next keyframe, next keyframe, next keyframe, and then you could play with the curve on how it was the speed of the transitions, then fucking.
So it had the 3D dolly before, because the Inspire 3 does that now.
Yeah. There's a lot of things
they were ahead of the time. Oh shit, that's dope.
And to be able to do, I mean, the biggest thing about any shot is especially if you're filming for you're filming, reproducibility. You got to be able to reproduce that shot over and over and over again. With a decent degree of, tolerance, you know what I mean? And so I think that's clutch. If you could do what you're doing with that automation and get in within an acceptable tolerance, man, there's not shot wise, there's nothing you couldn't do, Yeah,
exactly. And I genuinely believe that there's the potential in FPV, the difference between an FPV drone and a Mavic or whatever, any other like traditional drone is
Mhm.
really that low latency video
Mm-hmm.
connection and low latency control. And it's like if we can have the tools that these integrated systems like traditional Mavics, whatever, have, and we can have the same like precise control, it's like you have the potential for the ultimate filmmaking tool, the ultimate search and rescue tool, the ultimate everything. It's like the level of tool you're talking about here is like it's like for war, it's like for everything.
Mhm.
Like there's it's just an incredible tool, and I think FPV is like that. And when I say FPV, I mean that low latency control and video link that we sort of are that creates the FPV drones that we know. Like I don't know. I genuinely think that's like capable of being the ultimate tool for a lot of different purposes. And yeah, I think there are a few people in the space who are working on stuff like a like having beta something like beta flight where we can use it on custom drones, have position hold. There's a guy named BOHQ who is working on his own like flight controller that we can install into whatever we want and
Mhm.
do that. And I think that's like like I think what I'm doing is pretty important for making FPV more like useful for various tasks. But I
Mhm.
think stuff like that is also really important work.
Absolutely.
And yeah,
Sure.
like
Have you done anything with the GPS? Have you done anything at all so far?
nothing more than what most pilots have probably done. Like I've like set up GPS and returned to home and stuff. But
Mhm.
I've yet to dabble into iNav, although I certainly want to and need to. But that's it's definitely in the plans. And yeah, and also something I forgot to mention. I'm working on it. I hope it's I'm trying to figure out my environment. I'm a software dev by day,
Mhm.
so
What
I
what
could
what, what
definitely
languages are you
contribute.
programming?
Mainly I work in like Java and JavaScript. Like just basically I work on a big web app for financial software. It's the most freaking boring thing ever. Oh my God.
Math though.
But it pays the bills and like anyway, but anyway, I want to start contributing to beta flight, and the thing I want to contribute first is what I am referring to as an artificial prop line. And basically, when like you fly the Whoop gimbal, it gives you a real prop line because when you're
Mhm.
looking down, you actually get the props in view, and
Mhm.
so you have a direct reference to your camera angle. And you don't actually need this, but it would be really helpful to sort of answer the doubts that people have about flying with dynamic camera angle. And basically, it would act as a prop line. So when you look down, it would go up. It would basically be the
Okay,
artificial
yeah.
horizon,
Uh-huh.
but it would go up, and then when you look up, it'd go down, and
Mhm.
it just give you a reference to your camera angle,
You know,
basically.
somebody
And
that
it's
might
just
Cool.
somebody might be worth touching base with in that regard would be Brain FPV. You know,
oh hell yeah,
because the Radix has a lot of really crazy fucking OSD capability, and you can do virtual shot frames, and things like that. But
okay,
I would imagine, I did the Emu flight port for the Radix way back in the day myself.
well, heck yeah,
And
dude.
that was my biggest challenge, was dealing with the fucking OSD. But yeah, that I think somebody like that might be a good option. Until we get really good display canvas support that we can do more advanced drawing, so to speak, analog is still going to probably be the best option for that, with something like a Radix, that has an OSD chip specifically for it, the drawing basically. But
Yeah,
if
I
you
have a Radix too, and I have more features in that thing than I even know what
most
the
people
hell
don't
they
even
are.
use half the shit that's on them, unless you're like I said. There's some good framing options on a Radix because you can take your FPV cam and then you can build your GoPro or Cinecam frame as an overlay, so you know what you're getting
Oh
in your
fuck
camera.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
dope,
And so
dope.
that's something, and those boards have the ditch some of the other features and fucking maybe code up a fucking. That's why I was asking if you knew C, because if you know C, I can give you the libraries for the fucking Chibi OS, and you can go to town, and you could build your own fucking thing, like totally.
Hell yeah. I mean, I yeah, I'm I'm definitely I'm familiar with C++. I haven't done a ton of C stuff. Like back in school,
You
I
probably
did
get it
some,
though.
but I'm I consider myself a pretty bad software developer, but I'm good enough to be dangerous. Like essentially,
That's what I'm saying, bro. Same. Coding for me is a hobby, and I try to, I loved FPV and had the opportunity to contribute some shit, so that I did what I could, and have I do what I can when I can, But and I program raspberries and other shit, fucking. But yeah, I was doing. I built a Wii controller to run my gimbal. So I took a Wii controller and a fucking Arduino, and I can run my Ronin, left, right, up, down. I can reset and all that shit right off a Wii controller. I hadn't gone so far. Risco actually gave me a hand with some of the code on that. I didn't take the accelerometer off of it though. I can. The accelerometer. I have the data. I'm like, I don't know that I want to actually do that with my gimbal, but yeah, it's cool, fucking, it's definitely doable, and what you're describing I would definitely see possible with a radix in analog 100% right now, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah. I actually had I've been wanting to talk to some Betaflight devs. I ran into to Lemon FPV, who is a Betaflight dev at IO. I didn't talk to him about it though. I should have. But Superfly, y'all know who that is?
Yeah, dude, Steve, he's awesome. I love him.
Yeah, he emailed me like a week ago, and I've been talking to him. It's like basically once I got the ear of a Betaflight dev, I was like, all right, dude, like I've been trying to do this, like help me. And anyway, so we've been talking.
What's up, Specimen?
Huh?
I just shouting out Specimen in the chat. Sorry.
Oh, Specimen here? Fuck yes. Oh, hell yeah. Dude. Dope. Fucking Specimen heavy.
Fuck yeah, man. I think you should definitely look into that. The more, especially on the cinema front, the more tools, the better. Let's keep innovating. Let's keep pushing that. Like I said, I really would love to see a combo servo-driven Blackmagic naked, concoction that was just like, yeah, fucking, that's what I'm talking about. The other thing is, although, Sony, their Rialto system has detachable heads, which have you guys seen also there's a new Formula One movie coming that Sony has it's basically an action cam that Sony built. They have like a fucking 40 of them on a car. So they're giving you like every possible angle of the fucking car, and it's going 200 miles an hour around a track. It's insane, dude. So like, the sensor tech. Oh, really? I have to send you the article, bro. It's fucking dope. I think it's on my Mad Chiller page on Facebook. But it's fucking badass. And I don't know if you watched Top Gun, but that was also like Sony, that they used a version of this camera I'm speaking to, and they also used the Sony Rialto, because the Rialto is kind of like the Ronin 4D, where you can pull the fucking sensor off and you have the recorder, and then you gotta just somehow make it work. You know what I mean? But the sensor's tiny, so you can throw it on whatever and point it however you need. And so
interesting.
That kind of tech you're gonna see more and more and more and more and more and more. And I think that shit's hot, man. Like, that's what's up. Because like, you could take basically what a Blackmagic Naked is doing. You take the recording guts, that's here, and you got a sensor board here. It's all you fucking need. And now somehow put that on a gimbal, you're in business.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And I think we'll see a lot more dope fucking developments. And I'm actually excited. Rumor on the street is that Blackmagic actually might be joining the L-mount alliance. So we're gonna have fucking Leica lenses on fucking
L-mount alliance.
The L-mount alliance. That's the word. That's the rumor. This is the rumor on the street, that would open up a lot of lensing possibilities. So let's go.
Fuck yeah, that'd be dope.
Although then poor Kim Tang will have to figure out another mount. Fuck. Well, all right. Let's do this fun thing real quick.
Did you find it?
Yeah, I'm getting there. We gotta find a button. Here we go. Let's go. We got the lightning round coming in hot. We got a couple questions for you. They're mostly yes or no answers. They're short answers. So the first one up is True X or Smush X?
Ranch decks for this guy.
What do you
Oh,
think?
was that?
That's you.
Yeah, these are
your questions.
Oh,
Same
shit, my
questions,
bad.
rapid fire.
Fuck, yo, my bad.
True X or
I
smush
was not
decks?
paying attention.
I know.
Smush X or stretch X?
True or smushed?
Oh,
You can throw stretched in there if you want. You have three. You can have three.
True smushed. I'd say, if you can get props out of you with true, then definitely true. Although most of my shit is squished X.
Squished?
Like I think this guy's a squished.
Squished
So I
decks
honestly,
for life.
squished is what tends to work better. Although,
Would you rather
That's
walk
what I
around with a salad for a head or broccoli for arms?
Probably salad for head, I think, right?
Right on, yeah.
Yeah, I need those arms.
You need
dude.
them arms, bro. What's your
Masturbation gets really weird with broccoli florets.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm thinking.
Clean up some
It's
other
messy too. What's your dream job?
Dream job is pro piloting at the highest level. Like
Let's go.
Yeah, that's
What's your signature dance move?
shit. I'd say the bachata.
Oh shit! Let's go.
Yeah.
Some
Some technical terms here.
What's your spirit animal?
Alex Jones.
Wow. They're putting that stuff in the water and making the fucking frogs gay. Fuck.
Fucking badger.
The honey badger.
himself.
The honey badger. Fucking in one sentence, how would you sum up the internet?
A massive clusterfuck.
There we go. Fly with music, yes or no?
Yes, not as much as I wish I did. I
Word.
definitely
Yeah,
like it. I don't do
same.
it that often.
What would be your superpower?
I mean, I guess fly. Fly like as
Yeah,
good as it
I'm
could,
still there
yeah.
too. Huh?
Yeah, man.
Are you pinch thumb or hybrid?
I'm a hybrid.
Hybrids
Yeah, my
unite.
God.
Let's go. Bumps in the chat.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
go.
yeah.
All right. We got the last but not least. Who would you shag, marry, or kill? West Side, Trappy, and Bubby. So,
Sorry. What are the
shag, marry, kill.
kill.
Who would you shag? Who would you marry? Who would you kill? Out of those
all
three.
right, well, I guess I'd shag Chris. And
Chris getting lucky tonight.
And I would. Oh God, I think I hate to say it,
Do it.
but I'd.
Who's he
I think
gonna?
I'd kill Trappy for not supporting the head tracker on the
It's coming.
Trappy? Oh, it looks like he's marrying Bubby. The Bubster's getting married.
Yeah, he's got that rotor right money.
All right.
Got that red cap money.
Yeah, which I'm not even sure if that'd be illegal yet. I don't know how old Bubby is.
He is legal now.
He is legal.
He is
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's legal. He's on the market.
Okay.
Edge FPV, welcome in.
What up?
How are you?
What up, Edge?
Flay all the way. What's up, Edge? Well, shit. Have we got anything
Well, that
else?
was the lightning round.
That was
You
the
made it.
lightning round.
You did it.
Props off. That's a similar power that I would want. But I would want interdimensional travel.
God,
Oh,
see,
hell yeah.
but that's basically flight, right?
It can be.
Like it's gonna
You can
have to
just-
be for me. It's
Just
gonna
keep
have to
like.
be both for me. Like I want to have to fly to do that.
Well,
Like
that's-
88 miles an hour and all.
Well, that's the thing. If you can travel in different dimensions, you can move in ways that aren't possible to our current physics. So, what's to stop you from flying?
Nothing.
Nothing.
You're right.
Interdimensional travel comes with
Let's go.
perks.
We got props off asking how we should share a link.
That didn't work. Drop it
Yeah,
in. Post your vids here in the Discord. One of these will work. If it doesn't, I'll get you a link. Basically, Flay. Well, that's broken. Oh, there it goes.
There we go.
Not broken.
Yeah, props off. I saw you mentioned the rescue drone. I remember you telling me about that at I/O. I haven't seen it though. I'd love to. Yeah, if you can drop.
Are you in Discord? If
I'm not, but I could be.
Or you can send it to Josh and he can send it to me and we can do the round robin. Whatever's easiest.
It's a roundabout.
It's a roundabout.
Let's go some yes. Shout out.
Fucking love yes.
Yeah, you do. They're fucking maniacs. Prog rock to the fullest.
You guys got any questions for Josh?
Any questions out there in TV land? Josh, you have anything else that you want to share or any videos you want to play?
You got and or tips and tricks? You got any tips and tricks? Anything you want to any gifts you want to bestow? Drop some knowledge?
I guess final thoughts are along the lines where we were talking about competing against like creating FPV drones to be sort of these ultimate tools. I just think there is like an urgency to do this stuff because the integrated solutions are getting just crazy good. Like the Inspire 3 just is wildly good. So I think there is kind of a fire under our ass. Well, as far as a community.
But all right, let's put that in context though. And then a properly rigged out Inspire with plenty of batteries and stuff is going to be 15 grand ish or so. Yeah, I mean you're in Alta X range at this point. You know, right? Mm-hmm. You know, one thing about FPV is
except it has a camera.
Right, but one thing about FPV is it's much more accessible to people that don't have that kind of money. You can build a good quad for $300, $400, $500, you know, and get a decent GoPro or something and get some decent footage and start. You know what I mean? Like, you know.
Well, but you can also build a working cinema rig for a couple grand versus $20,000, $25,000, $30,000, $50,000.
But you can't beat some of them features that these things have.
Well, but that's the key though. That's what they're trying to figure out, right? How do you get that out of an FPV drone?
Yeah, exactly. Like we finally broken into the cinema space with things like Ambulance and other movies, and like so we made it into the space, and I just want to keep us there. You know what I mean? And,
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Because that fad of dynamic shots will eventually go cold.
Yeah, exactly. So I think there's some urgency for us to enhance the capabilities of FPV drones, and also in that also kind of preserve the art of a drone operator. Like, because what I fear personally is 10 years down the line, we are no longer artists; we're just technicians. You know, that's like and just the director is just working in a 3D CAD model of a scan of the space that they're going to film in, and he just says, I want the drone here.
And he AI'd that image in when he just dropped the drone, flew the area.
Exactly.
I mean,
he modeled it.
We already have a lot of
the rest
with automation arms. You already have a lot of that tech. You know, you get a dolly track and with a motorized dolly track and a fucking robot arm, and you know, if it's long enough, you can get a lot of the same kind of maneuver. But I don't know that an AI quad. Now, we've seen that AI racing quad, right? Everybody saw the AI racer, and I mean, it's pretty fucking impressive. But
so my only argument to
hold on. Let me finish my thought. So it's like
finish it.
Fucking, you know, like I don't think AI is going to replace the fluidity of the human being. You know what I mean? And the inspiration, like, you know, everybody as a pilot, you get inspired with a pass, and then you're hyped and you redo it, and you would change some things based on that I just don't. You know, AI is going to be repeating the same shit over and over again. AI isn't going to get inspired by what they're doing at the moment and maybe react to that on the next pass, or you know, like
it's our judgment that's our power that AI will never be able to compete with. And like I agree completely.
It's just like people talking about editing, man. I mean, great. I want AI to cut up half my timeline, but there's finesse in shots and aesthetics that
sure.
that they're not gonna.
But I think the barrier of that is cost, right? So the reason we're so valuable right now is because we're cheap in comparison to get anything like what we can
big time.
give them. It would cost major dollars to do that in the past,
Especially
where we
compared
have
to a
cut that-
helicopter, yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. And so we have made it much more accessible at a much cheaper rate. And I think that's going to remain that key until AI becomes so integrated with everything that it's cheap. So then it will become if a director wants a dynamic shot,
And it's just like
then
you were.
they hire the artist to do that, but the cost of that artist is going to be.
It's just like
incredible at that
you're
point.
saying, like how and think about. And that's actually one question I had for you. What's the reaction? What's the feel of the head tracker? How much do you feel much delay? What's the reaction time of the servo versus your head? How does that feel?
So for the Whoop gimbal and for the basically for the Whoop gimbal, it's a sort of a RC servo, and so it's not smooth, but it is fast, and so it's basically like real time, I'd
Right.
say. With the full size gimbals, which are designed to be smooth, you do lose some. You do
Latency.
get
Gain
some
latency.
latency in it.
Sure.
Not because there is latency,
You
but
can get that-
because it is smooth. Like it starts to move slow and then it ends like slow. So
You're gonna get that with a
there is little
gimbal
bit of
too,
latency.
like a Ronin. You're gonna get that,
Exactly.
and you gotta
Yeah,
tune your
exactly.
Ronin to get work with it and work and get that feeling.
Exactly. In the same way, like I film like weddings and stuff too, mainly as a second shooter. But anyways, I am a gimbal up from time to time. And like the same way with a gimbal, you like kind of move a little bit earlier than you actually want the camera to move. Like you learn that latency. You do the same with this.
Right.
Like whenever I'm coming on something and braking, I actually start looking down just a hair before I start backing pulling back on pitch, if that makes sense.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But yeah.
Well, plus like
Soft posted a video in Discord. I put it in the Facebook chat. Make it easy to grab the link.
Hey, okay, I'm gonna check that shit out.
I will play
yeah,
here.
and just, you asked about tips.
Thanks,
too,
Greg.
and I know I've said this like a bunch of times, but I'll say it one more time, which is just the Whoop gimbal is the place to start. And the trick is like to start with reduced range of motion, which is super easy to set up in OpenTX. My tutorials like say how to do it, but yeah, just start off with that low range of motion, and it's super easy to fly.
What's
and, from there?
Go ahead. You can finish your thought.
Oh, I mean that was pretty much it. And from there, you can increase range of motion as you get more comfortable. That's it.
What?
And that just sorry.
What's the cost? What's the cost of entry if somebody wants to get started tomorrow? What ballpark?
If they want to do it as quickly,
They don't have a head
as
tracker or
possible,
anything yet. They want to get started tomorrow.
So the head tracker is $105 if you buy it from me. You can build it yourself for cheaper. But if you want it to be as easy and quick as possible and just want to buy the stuff from me, which is honestly how I recommend it because it is like pretty affordable in the first place, in my opinion at least. $105 for the head tracker, $30 for the Whoop gimbal. So like $135. And then you only ever need one head tracker. Yeah, and the head tracker, like if you have multiple sets of goggles, you can it has like a quick release mount, so you don't have to get a head tracker for every goggle you use if you use like DJI and analog or walk snail and DJI or whatever.
Right.
Like,
right.
And
so it's universal in that regard. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And if you wanted, I recommend starting with the Whoop gimbal. But if you wanted to like also have a full size gimbal, they're $100. So like if you wanted a Whoop and a full size, and a head tracker, you're looking at $235.
That's
and
fucking reasonable.
That's money. Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. And again, like the Whoop gimbal is open source, so if you have a 3D printer and you don't mind doing a little bit of extra work, you can buy the servos cheap and just build it yourself. Like designs are on my website medlindrone.com. And yeah.
And what are you running on your Whoop? What camera?
I think this is a Nano something, a Runcam Nano or something. Nano 2. I honestly don't know. It's whatever comes with the Mobile 7.
Gotcha. Right on. Have you tried HC0 on the small stuff yet?
I haven't, just because I don't have any HD0 whoops to convert, but other people have. Like White Fox has done it. And like basically I designed the whoop gimbal to be universal camera mounting. So any camera will mount to it, essentially.
That's fat. That's dope.
Hell yeah.
Right. This is finally loaded.
Oh yeah, I got it.
What chat did you put that in, Greg? The Josh?
Both.
It's B2P core.
Oh, I see it now.
Oh hell yeah! This is the
Here, we'll watch. Let's get that up here.
Drop that bitch. Thanks, props off.
Yeah, that's sick, man. Oh my goodness.
So cool.
He was
see,
at
how can
IO, we were talking about he could have that set up and then just add a gimbal to it so he could spot where the hook is.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Well, you can't full screen
That
it.
would be dope.
Can't full screen a short? Fucking bastards. All right, here. Well, we'll just watch it a couple times here. He's got a
That's
bear. What grappling hook did you use? That's dope.
That's cool.
We'll let it run one more time.
Is that a D quad? What is that? Zoom.
Oh yeah, what is that? Oh,
What is
sorry,
that
I just
for?
hit my mic.
Sick, man.
That's dope, dude.
Yeah, it's
I want to see some. I want to see some FPV off that thing. The bear recovery tools.
Yeah.
I mean, yo, for nothing, not for nothing. That's like quad recovery central right there. I'm just saying, everybody should have every meetup should have at least one of these for fucking quad recovery, bro. Fuck yeah.
For sure.
Oh, show.
Nice.
Oh, yo.
Built that in 2018.
Before I forget, rest in peace, Sinead O'Connor.
Yeah, shout out.
Wait, she passed away?
Yeah, she passed away.
Man.
Oh shit.
Another one bites the dust.
Bro, for real though. All right, where are we at? Let me just get back.
Clean your dab rigs. It's dab time, guys.
Off
That's what
Axis
I'm
says he'll take two. I'm not. Yeah, I'm thinking head tracker and the big boy. I could build the Whoop one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So make sure if you do want to get into that gimbal, dude, go over to Medlin Drones and get those files, or do your boy a solid and buy from him.
If somebody were to,
It looks like he's not making that much profit, so buy several.
if the servo case was a little bit
Deck out
taller,
your whole fleet.
if the servo case was a little bit taller, like if somebody wanted to retrofit a mount for a different quad or something, is there much to do if you just raise the servo up? Not really, right? Like if you just elevated it a bit.
You could take an existing design and the base for these are open source, and so the idea is like even though like for the timing belt specifically, that's my only like closed source design. The base is open source, and so you can swap it. So what if you wanted to do that? What I would recommend is if you didn't want to like commission a design for it, you could just redesign the base slightly or something like that, or even or rise it like you're talking about with an adapter. You could just make a simple adapter literally out of like anything
some sort of a quick release would be sick, like if you had some way to use a quick release plate of some nature that you just fucking lock it in there and then just when you want to throw one of them on each one of your quads that you use it on, something like that, something along those lines. I don't know, maybe not that exactly, but you know what I'm saying, some way to, because some lifter guys are using basically QC plates for their batteries, so they can take a pair of batteries, strap them to a plate, and then have a few plates on, and have batteries ready to go, basically. So you're literally just pulling a plate of batteries, putting another one on, strapping next. You don't actually have to strap the batteries to the quad. You're just locking it down using basically QR plate basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be sick. I think the FPV camera would also have to have its own little like QR release as well, because you are mounting your FPV camera on there, so you need to be able to like quick release it and put it back fixed angle or something. But that probably would be hard. I mean, or you could just just a couple.
Use some kind of a use some sort of a plug. So you just unplug it, have the same plug on the next quad, plug it in. Like
yeah, exactly. In fact, I think Adam RC released a 2-axis gimbal for like fixed wing and crawlers that has a quick release and like a quick plug. It's like actually an interface plug, so you can take it off of one and just plug it.
Have they made an interface plug for the
awesome.
MIPI cables yet? Like, is there? I wonder. Is the MIPI cable a stock part on an O3? Like, I'm wondering if it's off the shelf, because I'm wondering if somebody has already made some sort of plug version. You know what I mean? Like, for that.
That would be sick if they did.
Throwing that out there as an idea to look at.
Shout out to anybody who wants to do that.
Yes.
We appreciate it.
That would be.
All right. Chat, you got anything else? Any other questions for Josh? I think we're getting close to the end here. Yeah, we are. Fucking,
Yeah, Daddy's got to wake up at 6 a.m.
Bro, I woke up early. Like, I've been waking up early because I've been doing Dude, I did.
That shit's killing me. School's about to start next week.
I'm in
train these badass kids. Fucking sleeping like teenagers, man.
My head's mush.
Starts in August there.
Yeah, it starts fucking.
Dude,
yeah.
Like, we have open house on August 1st. They start on August 3rd.
That sucks.
It's insane.
It's like
dude.
part of the summer.
Yeah, the kids lost that third of their summer.
Yeah, kids don't start school here until the end of September.
Yeah.
Or middle of September or some shit.
Our so it looked like oh my god. Are y'all fathers, out of curiosity? Like
I am.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I am a father.
Are you?
I'm not. I'm not. I think I want to be, but haven't yet. But have a lot of respect for that.
Well, yeah, fathers.
Take it easy. Take it easy. Take it slow. Some people, like, my sister's got mad kids. Like, I had two. I had two and stopped.
My Kister has 9.
Holy shit! God damn, son!
Between my
heart hurts.
Between my sister and her husband, they have 8. So yeah.
Bro,
what's your name again, kid?
I got 9 nieces and nephews, and sometimes I forget their names.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I couldn't imagine. Like, I'd have 9 kids, and I wouldn't remember somebody's name.
I mean, all I could say
like,
is I've flown FPV with my son, and that was pretty fucking awesome. He didn't ultimately stick with FPV, but to be able to do that is probably one of the best things ever. So, just saying.
That's sick.
That's sick as cool. Although, just clear, he did give you back the Cinewell.
Yeah, dude, he gave me a bunch of his shit, actually. Yeah, fucking. I'm actually sitting on some stuff, hoping he'll want to pick it up, and I'll just be like, "Oh, here's your bandolero. You want to fly it? Go fly." Like,
you want to do this?
You want to do this thing?
Please?
Let's go do this thing. I want to go do this thing. Hey, you know that thing?
We used to play Uno. now you play Daddy's Uno.
Yeah, man, I'm burnt. I've been doing color classes fucking nonstop, and I still have 16 hours to go. So at least
get them in. Well, Josh, dude, it has been
fucking awesome, bro.
Absolute fucking pleasure, dude.
Yes.
Like,
it's been awesome having you. Seriously.
Yeah, great talking to you guys.
Yeah, it's already 12:30, and I didn't even know it. I'm usually half asleep by this point, like dozing off. Shout out to everybody in the chat that puts up with that shit every week.
Although throughout the years, Artie and I started doing this about 4 years ago, and over the years we've had some adventures. That's all I'm gonna say. Right. And there's been some screenshots along the way.
You guys know Peacemaker Films?
Yes, yeah, I know Peacemaker. Yeah.
They have some badass fucking setups they do with Alt-X's and stuff.
Word. I'm gonna have to look it up right now.
Yeah, they're real badass.
Thank you for that. Props off.
Yeah, there's
well, hell yeah.
The Alt-X is pretty fucking rad. I think we should just fucking
Stand it. Yeah. Put everybody out of their fucking misery.
Including ourselves. Yeah, fucking hell.
Yeah, I need to go chill in my living room where the AC is. It's fucking hot in here.
Dude, well, Artie and Chad, great meeting you. Greg, good seeing you again, man.
Hell yeah,
Fucking,
man. It's
that
good
was
seeing
so
you, dude.
fun. Dude, that was fucking sick, man. If you talk to Juicy, tell him I said hi.
Yeah, man. If you're doing it again next year, I'll probably be down there again.
Oh, yeah, same. I'll definitely be down there.
Last chance for questions. One more. We'll give a couple more seconds for delay.
Ain't taking a U-Haul next year, though. So. That shit was so expensive.
I bet it was, bro. You should have rented a damn RV at that point.
Yeah, we tried to fucking our hand at a bunch of different shit, but we were both, neither of us had credit cards, and we were out of state, so they wouldn't fucking rent us a car, and U-Haul was the only option.
Just hit up some of the Amish out. You broke down in PA, right? So hit up some of them Amish. Yell, yo, can we get your horse and buggy?
Oh, man, we should have hit one of them after the car broke down and be like, hey, I seen a movie where a bunch of Amish people fixed a car. Could you do that?
Is that real?
Jesus
Let's find out.
Yeah, that was a wild adventure y'all went on. That was cool to hear about. Yeah, that was fucking.
Thank you for reminding me, Props Off. I've been trying to remember what that flavor was ever since I'm gonna have to notate that real quick. So.
Hitch the car to the horses. That's what I'm talking about, John. You can just like fucking put like some post-apocalyptic movie. You got the horses towing the car. We'll guys see you in a couple days. got a couple big bag of fucking carrots. Fucking trying to keep
just
the
loaded
horses
down with fucking cheese curds. And... Hell yeah, let's go.
You guys got a place where we can fucking park these horses?
Hell yeah, we're gonna raise a barn. It's gonna take us 7 hours.
Dude, you're in Indiana. There's Amish out here too. They put that shit up in F's. Look at these split.
No, bro. When I was in Michigan, dude, they had a huge Amish community in Big Rapids.
Yeah.
And bro, me and my Canadian buddy Justin watched them raise a fucking barn, and like, dude, it was the fastest thing I've ever seen in my life. It was ridiculous. Like literally, there's like kids, like 8-year-old kids, put together these walls, and in 2 hours they had 4 walls together. And are like putting structure out. It was amazing.
Actually, I had one question I forgot to ask, and hopefully we can keep it short. Have you noticed much of a need to retune at all once you put the gimbal on?
Yes. I definitely recommend retuning. Because your pitch moment is changing a decent amount. So I don't know. I haven't played around with the latest beta flight version. There was a version where you can adjust your pitch by it, like your pitch strength for your PIDs relative, like with the sliders. Because obviously you can modify the values themselves, but that would be what I would say. I forget what the term is called, but it's a slider.
Yeah, I know like, the one you're saying.
Pitch dominant.
Yeah,
pumping that up a bit or just adjusting it as needed.
Have you just more gain? You think is probably more P gain on pitch?
Yes. I'm not like a tuning expert. That's actually one of the things I'm trying to get better about is getting more experience tuning and stuff.
PID Toolbox is your friend.
Yeah, dude, I know. I gotta get on that shit. I haven't used any shit.
Well, cause that was gonna be my other question. Is like, have you noticed any oscillation from the motion of it? You know, because some people, when they have certain types of fucking grommets, you know, the fucking alpha gels or whatnot, and depending on the camera setup and how, you know, the camera can rock just slightly. And you'll see it in your traces, and so it's something to be aware of and potentially filter out or adjust for,
exactly.
In terms of the density.
And yes, that can happen. That's the timing belt. It relies on the sort of the beauty of the timing belt is that it uses tension to create like a really stiff connection. So there's not like with the linkage, there's not very much play in it.
Right.
But still, yeah, definitely want to retune. Might be good to look at your filters. And yeah, Pit Toolbox is probably your friend.
Pit Toolbox is your friend, trust me. I'm always preaching PTB to everybody. Fucking learn that shit. It's good to know. All right. Well, that answers my question. Anybody else? Oh,
And also, props off. I saw your chat earlier. Cheers, man. Yeah, it was great meeting you. And or had we met before? I can't remember, but good seeing you at IO.
and if anybody else has any questions, post show, just shoot them our way, and we'll get them over to Josh if you're not already friends with him or whatever. I'm gonna bug you. I'm gonna bug you later about some stuff.
Oh hell yeah. Medlin Drone Company at gmail.com, at Medlin Drone Company if you want to message me on social media if anyone has any questions. Definitely feel free. Or ping me on Facebook, whatever. Like however you can find me. There should be an ad there.
Get in there, Medlin Drone Company.
All right, chat. We love you guys.
Check out his store. Support the.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
hobby.
Yeah, fucking definitely support shit like this because this is cool
Absolutely.
shit.
This is that shit.
This is that
Let's
shit.
go.
Well, make cool shit. This is that shit right there. Make cool shit, y'all. Get out, send it, have some fun, be safe. Fuck remote ID. Oh, sorry. Did I say that out loud? Anything else? No?
No.
I think
we're
that's the fuck if remote ID was pretty much
That's the end. All right. Chat, we love you. We'll see you next week. You guys be good. Bye.
Bye.
Fucking split a I could do a fucking split a Done a million times. I could do a fucking split a You pop up, and then roll, then you, that is split a fucking split a I could do a fucking split a You pop up, and then roll. I mean, pop it. You roll.
I don't buy
and
into
then
whatever
you go
fucking
in
bullshit you're
to
saying.
the shit. Powerly, blind, powerly, I could do a fucking split roll, then you, that is split fucking split I could do a fucking split You pop up, and then roll, I mean, pop it.
That's pretty much the only trick that I know.
You guys.
It is Wednesday, my dudes. It is Wednesday, my dudes. It is Wednesday, my dudes. It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Sword of omens, give me sight beyond sight.